Richie, Mark DeRosa, and Ben Francisco rounds it out. Andy Sonnenstein ready to go right to work, and his first pitch is a fastball in there for a strike. We are underway right on time today at 1:38. Sonnenstein right back, and this pitch skipping past Michel Hernandez, who is doing the catching, and it's a 1-1 count on the switch hitting shortstop Cabrera. He's off to a good start this year for Cleveland, hitting .315, 1-2 now, and Andy trying to set his own pace here early as Cabrera step out on him here 1-2.
He's got to pound the strike zone both sides of the plate.
And a little tap back to the mound, and the underhanded toss to first. That takes care of Cabrera.
Look at the defense for the Rays today in left field. Carl Crawford, B.J. Upton back out there in center. Gabe Kapler gets a start in right off the lefty David Huff. Ben Zobrist at third base. Jason Bartlett at short. Aki Uemura at second. Carlos Pena at first. Michel Hernandez gets a start, catching Andy Sonnenstein.
One away, base is empty for Jamie Carroll. There's Joe Madden. Carroll 2 of 7 on the year. Short's on the bat. There's a first pitch strike. Boy, that's good to see out of Andy, who's coming off a tough outing his last time. He left shaking his head a little bit. He's a better pitcher than that, has better command, and the Rays want to see him use both sides of the plate. There's a base hit through the hole. Fastball and a single into left. So Carroll is aboard, a runner at first with one out. Victor Martinez is the hitter due up now. Today's game is brought to you in splendiferous high definition. For a list of high definition channels, log on to fsfloridatv.com. Click on the HD link. Victor Martinez hitting .409. He is off to some kind of start. The pitch to him is in there for strike one.
Can't do that in Little League, can you, anymore?
I'll tell you.
Come on. Everything he hits seems to find a hole. 7 home runs, 25 RBIs to go with it. And the thing is, we said the other night, is that, you know, he hits well from both sides of the plate. It's not like it's pick your poison. He hits equally as well right-handed.
The strike. Nothing in 2. Well, the Indians haven't had a hitter with an average this high this late into the season since August of 1959, when Tito Francona, that's the father of Terry Francona, the Boston manager, his dad Tito was hitting .410.
Wow.
At that point. Now, I'll tell you, Terry Francona was a pretty good hitter himself, but he flirted with the 400 mark early in his career until he damaged his knees. He could put the bat on the ball. Pitch is too low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think the good thing for Andy so far, he's for all first 3 hitters, he's pounded the zone for strike 1. That's very important for him to work ahead of the count so he can expand the zone and go inside off the plate when he needs to. Change the eyesight of the hitters.
Down, and a nice pickup right there by Hernandez. Count goes to 2-2.
Michel Hernandez was indeed setting up inside. This thing just short hops. He plays it like an infielder right there.
One on, one out, 2-2 the count to the red hot Victor Martinez. He strokes it toward left center field. Crawford is there and makes the catch. You can see Martinez waiting on the breaking ball.
Just going to say the same thing. That's one thing he does extremely well. He reads the ball out of the hand very well. Watch this. Nice load on the back leg, and he just goes with it. I mean, he does not try to pull the ball. The ball was up and away, and he shot it in the gap to left center. Good use of the hands, but Carl Crawford's able to run it down.
Yeah, he's not hitting 400 by mistake.
No.
And he's probably not going to hit 400 when the year's over, but this guy's going to have a good year.
Well, he came in 298 lifetime. I mean, you do that, anybody, that's a great number, but for a catcher especially, being able to catch every day. Of course, last year he was hurt a lot, but that's tough to do. And that's why Joe Mauer, it's amazing Joe Mauer has 2 batting championships as a catcher.
Chu chops it. This is Bartlett out of the shin, making the play from the second base position. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Rays are coming in to hit. Bottom of the first, no score.
Major League start, the first one for David Huff. Just got called up, and the Indians say, why not? Why not go to a youngster? We're scuffling here at the big leagues with our pitchers. At AAA Columbus, 7 starts. Earned run average 4.35. He's a strike thrower normally. 32 strikeouts, 16 walks, but he was a #1 pick in the supplemental draft in 2006. Out of UCLA, the outfield defense, Ryan Garco in left, Ben Francisco in center, Chin-Chu Chu in right, Peralta and Cabrera on the left side, Jimmy Carroll, Mark DeRosa on the right side, Victor Martinez behind the plate, and the Major League debut of David Huff. Strike thrower, a lot of change-ups, tough on righties. He's all about command, this young guy.
You know, the umpiring crew got together before the bottom of the first could commence, and Tim McClellan, the crew chief, had them all together just down the first base side. And now we see the plate umpire Ted Barrett talking with Eric Wedge about maybe the lineup card.
Well, it looks like the lineup card, exactly right. I mean, umpires may have a different lineup card than what Eric Wedge has.
And, you know, now they have David Huff here. They had to find a jersey for him and a number. I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but everyone was late getting the proper number for him. But this is kind of interesting here. McClellan and Barrett talking with Eric Wedge. So what's what in the official lineup here? How about that? How about that for a Major League debut? You're being iced already.
Well, we saw John Lackey have 2 pitches yesterday and get kicked out. So,
I know. That was
this kid hasn't even thrown a pitch yet. Got to top that. You got all 4 umpires there converging. Eric Wedge trying to explain.
I mean, it's been a frustrating start for the Indians. They're 14-24, and Eric Wedge, who's done a great job over there, has already heard his name mentioned as a guy who might be on the hot seat. And now this. Well, you know, we talked about no two games ever being alike in this great game, which to me is a mathematical miracle that as many games as you see, you never see two exactly the same. And this is a little different take on starting a game.
Well, you know, John Lackey, I mentioned John Lackey for people that don't know. John Lackey's been out all season rehabbing arm injury. Makes his first start yesterday of the season and throws 2 pitches, one behind Ian Kinsler, and then one hits Ian Kinsler. And Bob Davidson says, "You're gone."
Well, at least he didn't call a balk on him. He didn't give him time to have any base runners to call a balk on him. And that's one of the things Bob Davidson around baseball has been noted for.
Balking Bob. Yeah.
But he didn't even give him time to get a balk called on him. He threw him out.
There was a little history with the Angels and John Lackey, and of course Vicente Padilla was pitching yesterday, and there was something in the past. But I just can't believe John Lackey, even though Ian Kinsler hit 2 home runs the day before, was going to go out there in his first start and put the Angels behind the 8 ball like that. But this is unusual. I will say this about lineup cards, because people may wonder, well, what if his name's not on there? As long as you're registered in a major league office, your 25-man roster, you're okay. But you do have, you know, the starting 9, of course, in the American League, you get the DH, have to be on there. But your bench doesn't actually have to be listed on the lineup card that the umpires get. But your starter certainly does.
Well, you know, to make room on the roster for David Huff, they let Masa Kobayashi go. So maybe the umpires will tell them they have to bring him back and make him start this game. I don't know what they're thinking. But I've never seen a situation quite like this. How about you, Kevin?
No, I haven't. Like I said, I've had times, and, you know, I'll tell you what you do when you write your lineup card out in the morning. You give it to your bench coach, and you make sure, you know, and in my case I did, and he double checks it for you to make sure everybody's right, everybody's hit it in the right order. This is not about, I don't think, who's out there defensively. This is about, I think, is David Huff on the lineup card, I'm guessing. And like I said, as long as he's registered in the major league office that he's activated today, then he can pitch. But he does also have to be named as a starter on the lineup card.
Well, I mean, the Rays are going to try to beat David Huff today, but you can't help but feel for the kid. 24 years old. He's trying to make his major league debut. He got off to a late start this spring because of a strained left bicep and really was never able to get on track in the spring. He did apparently get on track at the minor league level. He was 5-1 at Columbus, their AAA club. And the Indians like him a lot. He, in fact, if he's not the top, he's one of their top pitching prospects. And because the Indians' pitching situation has been a little shaky, he's been called up to make his debut today. In fact, coming into this series, they still hadn't named a starter until now. And this young lefty gets the start. But it's complicated enough that Ted Barrett and Tim McClellan and Greg Gibson and Andy Fletcher are still trying to sort out what to do.
Well, for it to go this long, it's telling me, and I'm speculating, of course, that the kid's not on the lineup card. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, like I said, I've had it before where the lineup card's been blank on the other team, and I went to the umpires one time and I said, well, the bench is blank and the relievers are blank. They said as long as it's registered, I don't think he can pitch.
How about this?
Well, they're going to go make a phone call, perhaps.
Yeah.
They're going to go make a phone call to MLB is what they're doing. They're just telling the Indians to sit down a minute while we make a phone call to MLB and decide what to do. I'm guessing it's about the lineup card and David Huff perhaps not actually on the card.
Boy, this is, you talk about a major league icing. That's exactly what this is for David Huff, and we're speculating right here.
Yeah, we are.
And we're trying to find out. Todd Callis is on the case, trying to find out specifically what's going on, but you can see the frustration on Huff already. This gives us an opportunity to mention, we talked about the Rays auction today, and just a perfect opportunity. It'll benefit the Hillsborough and Pinellas Education Foundations. And look at these items headlining a trip to the All-Star game in St. Louis. That'll be for 2. Hitting lessons with the Rays designated hitter Pat Burrell, and that should be a great item there, just to spend some time with Pat Burrell. And I'll tell you what, you bid on that, I bet he'll give you a look at his World Championship ring that the Phillies got.
If he can lift it up.
Yeah, he's probably going to need help to get it out there to the hitting lessons. It's so big, but that will be a great item. Seattle, one of the best trips the Rays make to go to the great city of Seattle. That's a trip for 2, and then a trip to New York when the Rays take on the Mets, trip for 2. And a party here at Tropicana Field. That's what we try to have here every afternoon and every night. So be a part of the party. But there's the big board, headlined with a trip to the All-Star game in St. Louis, and then again the hitting lesson with Pat Burrell, trips to Seattle and New York, and a party right here. And of course, I was going to say the auction has begun with the first pitch to this game, and now we have this lull, this delay before we get into the bottom of the first. And they apparently have made the call. I guess Greg Gibson made the call. He disappeared into the dugout and up the runway, and we've been told that they were going up to the video replay room to make a call. Hey, are the offices open on Sunday?
Well,
that used to be a trick they would play before modern communications, because they knew that the league offices were not open on Sunday, and so in fact I think that's how Eddie Goodell, that's how Bill Veeck got Eddie
Slipped
Goodell.
him in there. Yeah, couldn't get a call.
Slipped him into
couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Pinch hit for the St. Louis Browns.
You know, when you option a guy or put a guy on waivers, it's 5 business days. Saturday and Sundays don't count.
Yep.
You know, you put a guy on Fridays, it's not done until Monday or Tuesday. The Tuesday actually the following week. So
I hope he got more than just a recorded message when he called the major league offices to try to sort this out, because.
Well, you know that's tough. When you go out and take your lineup card out, you go over that stuff. You go over who's on there. I mean, you're supposed to. A lot of time, you haven't taken many a lineup card out. You know, you're not really looking too carefully at both sides all the time, but you should be. But I'll tell you, the first thing you do when you get to the ballpark, again, is that when you get that lineup card and you write out your lineup that day. I actually did this. I had my bench coach do it. And I put the lineup out in handwritten what I wanted, and I had him do all 25 guys. I wanted to make sure that, you know.
Well, the
and then I had a double check with another coach as well.
Split up here, and Ted Barrett's explaining to Joe Madden, and Tim McClellan going over to resume the conversation with Eric Wedge. I've just never seen this. Somebody put a clock. You know, there are rain delays. There have been some electrical failures for rain delays. And we're going to get a little bit more insight on this. Let's go to Todd Callis right now. Todd, what have you got?
Here's what I've got so far. This is what I'm kind of getting from the Rays dugout, is that they're so used to Evan Longoria being at third base that he was accidentally written in on the lineup card in third base instead of the DH spot. Excuse me, I'm a little out of breath from running from center field's live auction. In addition to that, Zobrist is listed as the third baseman on the Rays lineup card. 2 third basemen, no DH. They're discussing things right now. The possibility is there that they would have to forfeit the DH, and Andy Sonnenstein would have to hit. That's what they're trying to figure out. But apparently, lineup card had 2 third basemen on it, and that's why Wedge called the umpires over, guys.
You know, that's pretty interesting. I was actually, I got the lineup from Joe Madden in his office this morning. Went down and copied it. Now, it wasn't the official lineup card, but he had Longoria as the DH on the lineup I copied. So it'll be interesting to see. Davey Martinez is changing it, and let's see what we're going to have here. Because Longoria was listed 3rd in the order as the designated hitter, and it appeared, look, Sonnenstein, Andy Sonnenstein has been listed now as the DH. How about that? So now they had Zobrist in as a third baseman, and they had Longoria. So that's pretty interesting. What are they going to have to do? Are they going to let Andy hit? Now, here's the thing. Andy's a pretty good hitter. He's a left-handed hitter, batting third against a left-hander.
Didn't know that, yeah.
He can put the bat on the ball, but obviously he's not Evan Longoria. So how about that?
Zobrist and Longoria at third base. Zobrist will be the third baseman. Longoria has not officially entered the game yet.
You see Longoria right there. Longoria is on the bench technically right now. So the question is, well, what are they going to do? Are they just going to let Sonnenstein hit at least once and try to get 5 out of him?
Absolutely, and Longo's going to have to come off the bench at some point. They're going to have to use the pitcher the whole game. Or, you know, the DH spot, the pitcher, and then Longo can come in later, I guess, after one at bat. But or after Andy's out. I mean, Andy, as long as Andy's in the game, he's got a DH. He's got to swing the bat. Basically, you don't have a DH. You get the pitcher spot.
So they list him as the DH, which was kind of interesting here. And maybe that was the question.
Whether it be pitcher or DH,
Can they technically list him as the designated hitter? Now the first pitch to Upton is low, 1 ball, no strikes. And so Andy with the batting helmet, and Longo says, hey, go get him, buddy.
So apparently, if he's listed as a DH, then they're not losing the DH.
Yeah, and I think that probably
was the question.
Question. Are they going to lose the DH because the pitcher Sonnenstein is in that spot or not? Three and 0 the count now to Upton. And there's ball 4 high. Hey, let's go to Todd now and check in quickly because he has more on the situation.
Well, I just happened to run into Evan Longoria. Obviously, guys, it's a mistake, a clerical mistake. Longo's got the sweatshirt on. He's back in the dugout now, so he'll be ready to pinch hit later. Just a matter of, you know, at what point you take Sonnenstein out. But the good news is the Rays' best hitting pitcher happened to be on the hill today.
Yeah, Todd, let me ask you a question before Crawford hits. Do they still have the DH, or is Sonnenstein technically the pitcher in that spot now?
Ooh, I didn't even think to ask Longoria.
That's the main question.
I think he has to be listed as the pitcher. I think you forfeited your DH because you haven't listed the DH.
Well, that's what I wondered, although we saw on the lineup change he was still listed as the DH, and so we're still not quite clear on that. And now the runner breaks, and Upton has a steal. So Huff went to first, but Upton outran the play and picks up his 12th stolen base of the year.
I truly, my guess would be, you take a look at this throw over, that's a little slow right there, and by the time DeRosa gets rid of the ball, no chance. That's what you're supposed to do when you get picked off like that. Just keep going and watch him slide inside. That'll block the vision of DeRosa, maybe get hit in the back. DeRosa threw the ball high. I think you lose the DH because the pitcher's a separate spot. DH is a separate position.
And so we're going to check this. Yeah, and we're just getting some clarification as Sonnenstein is listed as the pitcher, and so the Rays will not have a DH today as a result of that clerical mistake. 2-1 the count.
Well, it wasn't all about David Huff after all. You could relax. It was pretty interesting, though, because when you take the lineup cards out there, like I said at the very beginning, you go over that stuff. The umpire's supposed to look at both lineup cards and go over that before the game even starts.
Pitch is fouled, and it's a 2-2 count.
And when there is a mistake made, I mean, I've seen it in the past where guys will say, hey, you have this guy listed wrong or whatever.
Well, Eric Wedge caught it, and as a result, the Rays lose the DH. And there's a base hit into center field. Upton around third on his way to the plate, and the Rays break out in front. An RBI single for Crawford, a walk, a steal, and a base hit. And the Rays have the game's first run.
Tried to go inside on Carl Crawford. He just got inside it, got enough of it. Pretty quick swing right there and drops it into center field.
Well,
this is interesting.
Here's Andy Sonnenstein now hitting third in the Rays lineup because of the clerical mistake. Peralta comes in at third. And Andy shows the bunt, takes the pitch down, 1-0. Well, I'll say this. Everybody made a big deal about Tony La Russa hitting the pitcher 8th in the National League. The Rays have outdone him, and Sonnenstein is hitting third in the lineup.
People are going to see this around Major League Baseball. Look at the box scores. Go. I know Joe is really proactive with his, the way he manages, but
I mean, this is really outside the box.
And we know the lefty David Huff has more problems against left-handed hitters because it takes away his changeup. But
yeah, they can't even get him on the lineup card here. Crawford over at first base with the RBI single.
Well, the minor league numbers for David Huff are league in AAA at 275 from the left side and 220 plus from the right side, and that's because of the changeup that he has.
Andy again down to bunt, takes ball 2. It's 2-1.
The other thing about why Longoria, because Zobrist took the field. Once Zobrist took the field in the top of the first, he's in the game officially.
So the Rays bench is a little deeper than they thought it was going to be. And the bunt, third base side. Peralta goes to second out there and over to first. Not in time. So they get Crawford on the force at second. Peralta to the shortstop Cabrera.
What you try to do with the runner at first base is make the first baseman feel that that's not where you really want to bunt. I know Handy hasn't really done that here in the American League other than perhaps a World Series, but you got to make the first baseman feel the ball for that very reason.
Well, here's Carlos Pena. Well, that's a big mistake, really. I mean, Longoria leads the major leagues in runs batted in. So you hope the Rays can overcome that. But, you know, we talk about the game being a game of percentages. You're trying to position yourself in a winning posture. And that's what lineups are all about. Well, it's all different now.
Yeah, nobody feels worse than Joe Madden, believe me. He's just hoping they get through this game and win it. You know, that's what I said, when you come in the morning, that's why I had a guy named Dave Oliver. Actually, my third base coach wrote the lineup for me on the actual card. I would give him the lineup that day, and if I made a mistake, he would double check me. Then after I got it back from him, I'd give it to another one of my coaches. I had triple check just to make sure.
Cut. Foul ball right back into the mid of Martinez.
The manager always signs the card, by the way.
And the 1-2 is lifted into shallow center. Cabrera out of the shift. The shortstop is out there to make the catch in center field. That'll be the second out. Well, it all starts with a manager, and I know this, that
He'll take responsibility.
It was correct when it started, but you're right. Do it all, then it'll go down to the coach's office, and they'll make it. But as you point out, the manager signs off on it.
He signs off on it. He'll take responsibility. He won't put that on any of his coaches. You come in the morning, especially after the way Ben Zobrist is swinging, you say, you know, this is not a bad day to give Longo a break from playing defense and let him DH.
Zobrist takes the pitch in.
Especially with Pat Burrell out, so you want Ben to play a little bit of third. He's played everywhere out there. That's the right move, and sometimes those things happen in the morning, especially when you're trying to give a guy a little bit of a break like Longo. I mean, you get so used to penciling one guy, you know, your 3-4 guys in there almost. You know, that's the first thing you do sometimes. You put your 3-4 guys in there. Of course, with Upton now and Crawford, I mean, really your first 4, I mean, that's in your memory bank as a manager. So you're just used to writing in, hey, Evan Longoria, 3B, or 5, whichever way Joe does it.
2-0 the count to Ben Zobrist. Well, in the early days of this franchise, there were a lot of people thinking the Rays should have been in the National League. Well, they're playing by National League rules. The Indians aren't, though.
No, that's, and you know, Joe will definitely take the hit. Sonnenstein, and that they should scratch that DH and just put 1 there. Want me to do it? I got the toast.
Yeah, there you go. Ground ball, shortstop. Cabrera with the throw to first. That's close over there. And out the call to retire the side. Rays settle for 1 run. They leave a man at the end of an inning. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Place, big taste. And buy your Southeast Toyota dealers. Now's the perfect time to get an amazing deal on a new Toyota during Toyota's perfect timing event. Toyota, moving forward. Well, the Rays have a 1-0 lead. This game delayed 13 minutes because of the lineup malfunction. And Andy Sonnenstein not only is in the game on the mound, but he's also hitting third. Evan Longoria was listed initially as the DH, but on the lineup card that was turned in, the Rays had 2 third basemen in the lineup, and so Longoria is out of there. Here's Johnny Peralta. First pitch is high. Ben Zobrist had originally been listed and intended to start at third base. He's in there, and Longoria not officially in the game, but available. So at least the Rays have that. There's a strike, and it's 1-1 to Peralta. Two and one now, the count. High popper. Upton's coming in from his shallow spot in center, and he makes the catch. So Peralta is out number 1.
Yeah, the one thing about Andy Sonnenstein, the pitchers have been hitting, getting ready for interleague play, so I know that they have taken some at-bats, at least. But that doesn't make it any easier losing Longoria in the 3 spot against the Indians as you try to win 3 out of 4.
Yeah, and as good a hitting pitcher as he has been, you're right, up against the major leading RBI guy. And boy, Evan has been just outstanding. There's a strike to Ryan Garco. Good
curveball right there.
You know, Andy started the season hitting .400 for his career, 4 out of 10.
I watched him take BP out here.
A little pop up on the right side. Pena making the call. Yeah, so you know, technically, we started this game with 2 .400 hitters in the lineup, Sonnenstein and Victor Martinez. Hey, speaking of a heavy hitter, let's check in with Todd Callis.
All right, Dwayne. Hey, we've got some early bids right now. And by the way, Amanda's back, and she always makes the Rays live auction much better. So she's got some updates on the bids. We've got our all-star trip for 2009 to St. Louis up to $2,500. Jay Dowdell is the bid on that. Hitting lessons with Pat Burrows at $1,500. Our trip for 2 to Seattle, and I know, Dwayne, that's one of your favorite ballparks, mine as well. $2,100 on that one so far. Trip for 2 to New York to the new City Field, $2,000. And our suite, the party at Tropicana Fields, up to $2,000 as well. So early bids are coming in. Almost every item's at least at $2,000 now. So keep calling in, and we'll be out here updating those as the game goes on. And also, we have these $100 fan packs we'll tell you about next time, guys.
All right, very good. It's great to have Amanda back, light of our lives. 1-2 the count here on David DeLucci. Well, she keeps an eye on Todd Callis out there.
Have to. Somebody has to.
Oh, pretty good pitch right there. I don't know how he took that one. 2-2.
Flinched by Ted Barrett behind the plate. That was on the outside corner, looked like.
Look at
Take
this.
a look. They go around a plate. Yeah, maybe it did.
Yes, it did.
Second one. Good camera work, guys.
This went in on him, and he fouls it back. 2 outs, bases empty. The Rays with a 1-0 lead as we play in the top half of the second inning here at Tropicana Field. This one lined the other way. That's going to be fair. Down toward the corner. DeLucci's going to dig for 2, and Crawford's throw will be back down the line toward third. So a 2-out double for Dave DeLucci. DeLucci's 3rd double of the year.
Well, that's what we were talking about in the open about pitching inside. I mean, he stayed away with the breaking ball and goes away with the fastball, and DeLucci's just able to just drop the head of it, drop it into left field. Might take a good time to go back up and in. Try to get him to chase the fastball.
Mark DeRosa. Just down. A ball, no strikes. Not a lot of at-bats in this Cleveland lineup against Andy Sonnenstein. DeRosa, for an example, is just 0 for 2 against him. But an important hitter here with a man at second and 2 outs, because the man behind him, Ben Francisco, is 4 out of 5 with 2 home runs lifetime against Andy.
That's enough of a cross-reference for me.
Yep. So let's get this guy not face Francisco with anybody on base. There's a good breaking ball. 1-2.
He's got pretty good curveball today, and location so far, the fastball's been pretty good.
Big time. Ted Barrett. Rays and the Indians wrapping up their 4-game series. The Indians have been a very tough opponent throughout the years for the Rays, including last year. 2-2. Hernandez scooting out there to stay in front of that pitch.
Yeah, real nice job by Michel Hernandez, because that'll give the pitcher more confidence that I can drop a curveball in the third if he blocked it like Michel just did. Going over the sequence right here. How Andy wants to get DeRosa out. I don't think this is about anybody given location at second base or going over the signs. I think it's more about let's be sure what we want to do here with Mark DeRosa.
2-2 to the veteran right-handed hitter. He went up with him and missed with a fastball. 3-2.
Best pitch early has been the curveball. See if he goes to it 3-2. DeRosa is a pretty good low ball hitter, though.
He tried the breaking ball, but it stayed up. So he walks him, putting men at first and second. And he will have to face Ben Francisco with 2 men on and 2 men out.
It's interesting, Dwayne, you mentioned the 4 out of 5 because a lot of times managers will say, well, that's not enough of a cross-reference of at bats. 20, 25 times you face a guy, that gives you a pretty good indication. But when you face a guy 5 times, you've got 4 hits and 2 home runs. That's enough.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, let's hope that the odds start to even out a little bit for Sonnenstein. The breaking ball stays up. That potentially could be a danger.
Yeah, last couple of curveballs way up with it.
Tries it again. 2 balls, no strikes. Up, fastball, 3-0. But you can see Sonnenstein trying to give him the breaking stuff, and then the fastball was plenty up out of the strike zone. And Cabrera's on deck. But he's been a pretty good hitter overall this year, Cabrera. And a strike.
So cutter right there. 3-0. It's a nice pitch.
With 2 outs, DeLucci doubled, DeRosa walked, 3-1 to Ben Francisco. And he hits it high and deep to left, back to the track, and that one is gone. Well, that's what you feared most. A 3-1 fastball, and Francisco hits it out to make it 3-1. DeLucci and DeRosa score in front of him as Ben Francisco hits his 3rd home run in 6 at-bats against Sonnenstein.
Yeah, he tried to throw a little cut action away with that fastball, too, and it just didn't do a whole lot. It stayed right up over the heart of the plate. And like we said, I mean, that's enough of a cross-reference. Now it's 3 home runs in 6 at-bats.
Pitch to Cabrera is up. 1 ball, no strikes. Francisco's 3rd home run of the year gives him 12 runs batted in. And Andy is up with this pitch. I guess the only question is why Ben Francisco isn't hitting 4th
I was
today.
just thinking, why isn't he hitting 3rd today? Then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess 4th.
There's a foul.
Victor Martinez deserves 3rd.
2-1 now.
That's just not good, good location. I mean, yeah, I've said this the other night. You got to recognize there's a base open at 3rd also. Would you throw him in the same pitch if it was 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs?
Well, I really thought that's what he was doing. He was going to go breaking ball, and then he missed way up with the fastballs. Okay, it's 3-0. You got a tough hitter in Cabrera due next, but the way he has, speaking of Francisco, the way he has hit Sonnenstein, you just didn't want to give him anything to hit. 3-2 the count. 3-1 the score on Francisco's home run.
I mean, that's really how you have to think sometimes. If you had thrown a wild pitch and runners at 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs, how would you approach him?
Yeah.
Would you approach him the same way or not? Probably not. Probably would have pitched around him.
A foul ball off Cabrera's foot. Yeah, there's a method to those walks, and you mentioned it the other night when Wheeler was in relief, and how he pitched to Ryan Garco. I mean, that's there's a purpose for that.
Absolutely. I mean, basically he was pitching around him, and if Garco wanted to chase, fine. If not, I had a base open, and I'm going to go after the younger hitter, Matt Laporta. He made some great pitches and got Matt to pop out.
3-2 again to Cabrera. He lines it up the right side, back toward the corner. That will go for extra bases. He's on his way to second, standing with his 9th double of the season.
Well, the first 6 hitters, his command looked excellent, and all of a sudden the one mistake to DeLucci with 2 strikes, and the floodgates have opened up. DeLucci double to left, DeRosa walks, Francisco homers, and now Cabrera. Everything's been up in his zone the last 4 hitters, just like that. First 6 hitters, he was looking really good. Last 4, everything's up.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating for Jim Hickey. You see him, he comes out throwing the ball well, and then just in a matter of seconds, the location has deserted him. And he's really first and foremost a location guy.
Yeah.
I mean, for Sonnenstein to miss his location, it's like a guy who throws 95 suddenly is throwing 78.
Right. He's always been a command pitcher. What do you have, 37 walks all of last year?
He was like that his entire career, even in the minor leagues. He just didn't walk people. There's a strike to Jamie Carroll, and he needs that to be successful up here. Ground ball headed to short. Bartlett comes up with this one, and the throw to first is in time to get the hustling Carroll. Cleveland in with 3 on the homer by Ben Francisco. Bartlett's going to lead off the bottom of the second.
Some type of footwork drill for infield, and after that, just get ready for the game, just relax and get a good meal in me.
Well, it's been working splendidly so far for Jason Bartlett. He's 4th in the league in hitting at .359, and he leads off the bottom of the second. Bartlett, Kapler, and Iwamura. Five homers and 16 runs batted in for Bartlett, and the Rays find themselves down now by a couple runs as they try to go back to work against the rookie left-hander David Huff, making his major league debut.
Well, that's the word, getting back to work. I mean, it's over now. Longoria's out. There's no DH. You got to start grinding now and just say, okay, we got to win with what we have, the way the lineup is. I think you lose a little focus with that too. I mean, that had to be a little shock to Andy too, not to make excuses for him. All of a sudden you're hitting in the 3 spot.
2-1. Yeah, it might have been since Little League the last time he pitched and hit third.
Yeah, it might
that
have been.
happens a lot then. Bartlett fouls it out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Evan Longoria, he thought he was going to be the DH, but the Rays forfeited that on their lineup snafu, which delayed the game 13 minutes.
Yeah, that should be pitcher too. There is no DH. Take that out of there. Pitcher spot.
Now Bartlett hits one high, deep to left. Garco back to the wall. That's going to be off the top of the fence. Bartlett around second on his way to third. He will stop at third base with a triple. Bartlett's first triple of the year. He made a bid for his 6th home run. And just on the top of the wall out there for 3 bases.
Well, you always watch the outfitters. They'll let you know if the ball's gone for sure or not. Garco looked like he had it tracked to make a play, so weren't quite sure if it was going to get out or not, but he hit it well, but it was a little bit high. The only reason he didn't hit it out, he didn't hit it on the line like he has been, but you take that. Just below the yellow railing on the padding right there, and Garco just misses it. Nice effort. And Bartlett was hustling all the way. I mean, he was looking for an inside the Parker. I mean, he wasn't taking anything for granted. He was busting his tail out of the box.
There's Gabe Kapler. First pitch, and he takes that for a strike, a fastball.
And the other surprising thing about hearing some comments yesterday about a missed hit and run, I'm saying, well, you know, Bartlett's 4th in the league in hitting. Number 1 count. You're not going to hit and run with Jason Bartlett in that situation.
Yeah. This one is down. There was also some talk about the Rays trying to sacrifice runners over. They had Aki attempting to do that for the lower part of the order. Well, normally that would be the case, but Bartlett in the lower part of the order gives you a guy hitting 400 with men in scoring position, and he's been among the league leaders. Ground ball out to second. That's going to get the run home. Bartlett crosses the plate. Kapler picks up a run batted in. That makes it 3-2. And let's check in with Todd on the auction. Todd?
Yeah, Dwayne, we had those 5 big ticket items, and those bids are all between $2,000 and $3,000. So here's something that it's a little more affordable, and it's a great deal. It's a fan pack, 4 tickets to a game, and it's a concert game. It's the Pat Benatar game. Here's Pat, and 3 Doors Down. So you've got 3 Doors Down on May 30th. You got the Pat Benatar concert June 27th. Here's what you get for $100. You get 4 baseline box tickets right there. That's a deal because those tickets themselves are worth more than $100. In addition, you'll get wristbands to go on the field. That's generally just for the season ticket holders. And you'll get 4 food vouchers for a hot dog, Pepsi, and Cracker Jack. So that's 4 tickets on the field for the concert, 4 food vouchers. It's a $100 package. It's over a $200 value. It's a different phone number to call. 825-3434, 727-825-3434. There's only 150 left, guys, so get on that phone in a hurry. 727-825-3434. Back to you.
Oh, yeah, that's a great entertainment value. I mean, to come to the ballpark alone, but on the concert night with everything else you get, that is a great bargain. So those things should sell out fast. If you're looking for an opportunity out with your family or friends, that's the way to go right there. Rocky out on strikes, a foul tip strikeout. First strikeout for David Huff. Run home for the Rays in the inning. It's 3-2 now with Cleveland leading. And Michel Hernandez about to step in.
I wanted to mention, too, when Kapler was up there, he just had a nice, easy swing and took the ground ball. And I want to say that's important because you never know what the guy behind you is going to do. You don't always have to get a base hit to take the first RBI with nobody else. I thought that was an important, just nice, easy swing for the ground ball to get Bartlett in.
1-0 pitch to Hernandez. 1-1 on the foul ball.
I think sometimes too many guys think, well, I got to get a base hit to get the RBI. Take the RBI when you can, because if he pops out, Aki strikes out, and Michel has to get a base hit to drive the runners. That was a good at bat by Kapler for me.
Well, you get him when you can.
That's right.
And Kapler made sure the Rays picked up the guy at third with that ground ball.
Yeah, he just made contact. You could see it was a nice, easy swing. He was trying. Looked like he was trying to hit a ground ball, which is should be doing there. The infield back.
2-2 now. Rays facing 24-year-old lefty David Huff. The Indians drafted him out of UCLA. This one is down. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A combined 11-5 in the minor leagues last year between AA and AAA, and was voted the best pitching prospect in the Indians organization. He picked up the Bob Feller Award as their top pitcher in the organization. So they've been high on him.
Not an overpowering guy. 89 to 90, 91. Good changeup. Tries to work the corners and change speeds.
And that one is wide. Shot for the corner with a fastball. He hit 90 with that one, and I think that's about the top speed we've seen him.
That is. 89's been it. And that ball was outside. I know Eric Wedge looks like he might be upset, but that was a good call because Martinez tried to pull that ball back in. Ted Barrett didn't bite on it.
So that's going to get B.J. Upton top of the order to the plate for the Rays. They have a run home and they trail by 1. Pitch is outside to B.J. Upton walked. Well, tried to pick him off in the first, but he outran the play and picked up his 12th stolen base of the year. This one comes in on the corner. 1-1.
Change up right there. Pretty good pitch. Paint.
It's a big pitch for him. 2 balls and a strike. Where's B.J. finding his home run groove the last couple nights. Friday, he had the big walk-off in the 9th to give the Rays an 8-7 win, and then homered in their 4-2 victory yesterday, connecting off Pavano. Carl Pavano made the start, and Garza got the win. The high pop-up. Carroll, the second baseman, under it, and the Rays are finished in the 2nd. They pick up a run, leave 1, and through 2, it's 3-2 Cleveland.
Tangibles that bring them to the yard, just like me when I was younger. So it has to be the fans for me.
Pretty good observation there by the Rays right-hander Andy Saudenstein. The young fans out here on Kids Sunday today with Andy doing the pitching. He'll face Victor Martinez to lead off the third. Martinez came into this game at 409. And he got him on a fly ball to left. First time around, threw him a breaking ball. And the first pitch this time, a breaking ball in. And that's off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Martinez, then Chu and Peralta. Middle part of the order due for Cleveland. And a popper. Foul ball back. Hernandez will give it a look, but that's going to be out of play. And the count is 1-1.
Yeah, and he just really has to concentrate on getting over his front leg so he drives the ball down. That's the big thing. And he made a nice adjustment, and Jay Hickey went out there in a second to get that ball down to Carroll for the ground ball to short. I mean, that's what Andy has to do. He's got to stay down and then conveniently at times come up and in just to change eyesight.
He missed up and away. 2 balls and a strike.
62% so far for strikes. That's a little bit below average, especially for a guy like Andy. He's got to be up 68%.
That's a strike, and it's 2-2. Well, every pitch made in a game should have some purpose behind it, and then it's a matter of executing that plan. And it's certainly very important to Andy. Pena makes this play unassisted. That's the first out in the third. Reminder, fans, the $250,000 Mustang money tickets go on sale in 2 days on May the 19th. Register from the 19th of May through the 11th of June to win a 2010 Ford Mustang V6 convertible or Ultimate Florida Baseball Weekend getaways or a $100 gas card. Visit FLAFlorida.com for details. Here's a bunt by Chu. Andy's going to throw him out. Kind of nice to see that guy bunt.
Wow, wouldn't you take that, the way he's swinging the bat? Thank you very much. Shift was on. Of course, Chu was trying to push the ball to third base, but you'd take that, the way he's swinging. Even if he got on first base, you would take that.
2 gone. Base is empty, and Johnny Peralta, the third baseman, steps into the batter's box.
You know, it's part of the idea of the shift, too. If you can make the hitter do something different, then, hey, Joe Maddon, you're playing into his hand. That's what he loves you to do. You know, he mentioned that about Aubrey Huff going the other way a couple of times against the shift, and Joe Maddon said, hey, that's fine with us. We'll take that versus a home run.
The 0-1 to Peralta. Breaking ball is high. A 1-1 count. Well, Maddon always in the game. There's a ground ball foul. He's in the game before the game and after the game.
Yeah, I mean, the mistakes happen sometimes. I mean, you can manage a lot of years. He managed a lot of years in the minor leagues. He's an excellent bench coach for Mike Scioscia. Has been here a long time now. And on top of everything, sometimes things slip through like that.
This time Peralta tied up and is out on strikes to retire the side. Slipped that fastball in and surprised him. Bottom of the third coming. 3
Written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Now that's Scott Kazmir taping his bat. I guess he thinks since Sonnenstein's in the game, he might have to pinch hit at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually got a little smile on his face. He's getting ready. Well, they were having fun taking batting practice. The guys, I saw them last homestand in this one as well.
You see Sonnenstein getting ready to hit. He'll bat second in this inning. Carl Crawford leads it off. It's foul back in case you just joined us. That's right. Sonnenstein is hitting third in the Rays lineup as a result of a lineup card malfunction. The Rays originally had Evan Longoria hitting third, and they wanted him to DH, which was on the original lineup card, but it became a problem when Eric Wedge pointed out that on the lineup card that he had, there were 2 third basemen. Crawford skies it to center. And that's not, by the way, the first time this kind of thing has ever happened. And Whit Watson has more on that.
Well, you've got to go back 10 years. And the Cleveland Indians were actually on the wrong side of it, Dwayne, the last time it happened. Mike Hargrove handed in a lineup, then the manager of the Indians, with Alex Ramirez in right and Manny Ramirez as the DH. But when the Tribe took the field, Manny went to right. They were playing the Blue Jays. Jim Fregosi was the manager. He noticed, called attention to that fact, and Charles Nagy ended up batting 7th for the rest of the game, as long as he was in the game for the Cleveland Indians. That was 10 years ago, July of '99. Now, in the Major League Baseball official rulebook, it states if the umpire-in-chief notices a discrepancy in the lineup card before play starts, it can be corrected, no penalty. And specifically, one of the examples is if there are 2 players that have the same last name, which we assume is a reference to that incident back in 1999.
Well, it's 2-1 now to count to Andy Sonnenstein. Pitch is foul back. Well, the Blue Jays wound up winning that game 4-3. Nagy worked 6 innings and gave up 4 runs on 7 hits before he left. So he wound up in the lineup. And there's a strike call. Sonnenstein caught looking. Second strikeout for David Huff. And there is Jim Fregosi. He's here scouting this game, and he was the manager of the Blue Jays and pointed that out. So he was probably one guy in the ballpark who had a hunch about what might have been going on there.
Yeah, he's been here for the whole 4-game series. Touched base with Jim the other day, and that's just a little irony right there. I'm sure he was thinking back about that 10 years ago. Well, it gets back to when you first take the lineup card out and you exchange it with the umpires. Like I said earlier, they don't really look at them that heavily. You know, they kind of glance over and they see who the starting pitcher is, and that's it. That's why I was surprised. I thought maybe it was the starting pitcher wasn't listed, but that you would definitely notice.
Pena go. He held up, and the count is 1-1. Well, Nagy was 0 for 2 in that game, and so far Sonnenstein is 0 for 2. But you know, Andy's probably a little better hitter than Nagy was. We'll be with you tomorrow against the Oakland A's. Jeff Neiman against Sean Gallagher. We'll be with you in high definition on Sun Sports tomorrow. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Pena. Two outs, base is empty. Two and two.
Yeah, David Huff also throws a little slider, and that was a curveball there. He's got both. The slider really is his 3rd pitch. He's mostly fastball changeup. Those are his first 2 pitches.
Ground ball against the shift, and Cabrera, the shortstop from the second baseman's position, makes the play. 1-2-3 go the Rays. We go to the 4-3-2 Cleveland. base in 18 consecutive games. What's the American League record for consecutive games with a stolen base? And if you were tuned in on the Rays pregame, you would have the answer to that one. Just another reason to watch the Rays pregame. First pitch in the fourth, Ryan Garko fouls it back. That's a strike. Rick Watson and Todd Callis teaming up on the Rays pregame. Highly entertaining and yet informative. High foul, and that's going to be out of the reach of Pena. 2 strikes. Garko, DeLucci, and then DeRosa. Number keeps the count right there at 2 strikes.
That's where you want to be, right there with 2 strikes. Up that curveball in the dirt.
What's up?
And that's also a good pitch. Michel Hernandez had the little thumb in, and you could see him. He gave the sign to say up with the hand by design.
And a wave and a foul tip strikeout. One away here in the fourth, and let's check in with Todd Callis.
We have a state finalist for the Teacher of the Year and Hillsborough County Teacher of the Year. Megan Allen from Cleveland Elementary School. Megan, our broadcast auction is benefiting both Pinellas and Hillsborough Education Foundation. As a Teacher of the Year, as a teacher, how can that benefit you in the classroom?
It directly benefits the kids. I mean, right down to the pencils and paper on their hands. Kids are coming to school with the way the economy is, with so much less. We have so many kids in need, and they don't have the supplies that they need to succeed. So this is really going to help our kids and help the teachers give students the tools that they need in order to reach those goals and reach those dreams. So this is the public's chance to really help affect those kids.
And it allows you a lot more creativity, I would think, in your class lessons.
Oh my gosh, we're able to do so much more as a teacher to help benefit our kids with the support from the Pinellas and the Hillsborough Education Foundation. They really give teachers the tools they need and give the kids what they need too.
Her 4th grade class, guys, part of winning Teacher of the Year is a limo ride. The teacher gets to go on a limo to the class or to school, but you decided to include your kids with that, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's an experience that I wanted to share with them and an experience that they needed to help enrich their lives. They had a blast. They felt like superstars for a day, so it was very glamorous.
Megan, thank you so much. What you do is so underappreciated. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is quite an honor.
Guys, all the money we're raising today going to the Education Foundations. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Todd. There's a backdoor breaking ball to DeLucci to get him looking on a 2-2 count. Here's another look.
Yeah, the fastball set this up. He threw some fastballs up, and he backdoors him right there with the curveball looking.
So 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Sonnenstein. And with the bases empty, here's Mark DeRosa. He lifts a popper into left center field, not overly deep. Upton is right there for it. BJ puts it away. It's a 1-2-3 fourth. Bottom of the inning coming. 3-2 Cleveland.
And Hillsborough Education Foundations. Here's a look at the board. You can see the items that are up for bid. 2009 All-Star trip to St. Louis. That's the one I want to focus in on right now. It is a trip for two, including airfare, including hotel, including tickets to both the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby. This is all for two. A jersey from the All-Star game, an American League jersey, then a second jersey signed by all the Rays that are there for the All-Star game. We already know Joe Madden and the coaching staff will be there, and all the other players from Tampa Bay that make the All-Star game as well will be part of the All-Star game package. That is item number one, and right now that bid is up to $3,100, guys. Great items.
Todd, thank you very much. You're right about that. Some great items, including that trip to the All-Star game. Ben Zobrist leads off the home half of the fourth and bunts the first pitch foul up the right side. Then grounded out to the shortstop his first time. He'll be followed by Jason Bartlett and then Gabe Kapler. Here's the big board with the trip to the All-Star game in St. Louis, and that's right now up to $3,100. Still a bargain. Zobrist hits this one high and deep into right center. All the way to the wall, and that one's going to be over Jude's head off the top of the fence. Zobrist on his way to third with a stand-up triple. The Rays have had two triples. Bartlett hit one off the top of the wall and left in the second, and now Zobrist hits one off the top of the fence in right center field.
Well, this is why Joe Madden wanted to get Ben in the lineup and keep him in there. He's been swinging a bat so well from both sides of the plate. He missed another home run for about 3 feet right there. That thing hit the padding below the yellow line there. And Ben was hustling all the way, too, to get his first triple of the year.
So the Rays have the potential tying run at third base to lead off the bottom of the fourth, and here's Jason Bartlett, who opened the second with his triple. The pitch is a strike.
Indians once again will give up the run up the middle. If the ball's hit to the corners, it's a shot. Look at Peralta at third and DeRosa at first. We got a home. The ball's hit to the corners.
So it's important for Zobrist to get a good read down at third.
Definitely. You got to make sure the ball's by the pitcher, too. If it's hit to short or second.
And there's a little looper into short right. That's going to fall. Base hit, and Bartlett does it again. This game is tied. Jason Bartlett just lifting that one, a short little looping fly ball into right to drive home Zobrist. Jason is 2 for 2.
And that's the one thing Jason, I'm sure, was trying not to do, is pull the ball to third base. He was trying to go up the middle or the other way, just use the field. Look how short that swing is. That's just a nice fluid swing, just squaring the ball up. Not a real forceful swing. He's just trying to make sure he got the run in by hitting the ball the other way or up the middle, and ends up getting a base hit out of it.
He came into the game hitting .419 with men in scoring position, and he comes through here in the fourth to tie it. Here's Gabe Kapler. The pitch is a strike. Of course, the other side of Bartlett's game is the running game. He's 10 of 11 in that department.
It's amazing. B.J. Upton's 11 out of 13. Crawford's been perfect, and Bartlett's only been caught once. Those three guys, I mean, it's been pretty much lights out. If you're over 70%, you're doing a good job. Those three guys combined are about, what, 97%?
It's incredible. Foul back at
95%. I mean, that's incredible.
So the Rays with a run in the first, a run in the second, another run here in the fourth. They're taking advantage of the opportunities.
Kapler's kind of due for his first long win of the year, isn't he? That's some power.
Pitch is down. It's 1-2.
He got his second RBI of the year with that ground out in the second inning.
And a liner up the left side. That's going to hook foul. One hops the back of the bullpen mound and winds up in the stands. The count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Rays facing David Huff, 24-year-old lefty. Pitch away, a fastball up and away. 2-2.
It was close, but Victor Martinez, by pulling the ball in, is telling you it was a ball. And Ted Barrett says that's exactly right. Thanks for the help.
The move to first. Bartlett is back in with his right hand extended.
The thing about not seeing this guy, his pickoff move, that the Rays are still trying to get a read on him, on David Huff.
That one comes inside. 3-2. Well, Upton was on the move in the first inning, and Huff went over to first. DJ outran the play and picked up a steal.
You got to expect a throw over right here, just in case. Bartlett's got to be careful.
And there's ball 4 low. So we'll put men at first and second with nobody out. That gives us an opportunity to answer the Aflac trivia question of the day. Coming into this game, the Rays have stolen at least one base in 18 consecutive games. What's the American League record for consecutive games with a stolen base? To our Aflac trivia question. Aflac asked about it at work, and our answer is 19 games. The Rays have tied that today with that first inning steal. You have to go back to 1914 to the New York Yankees, and that was still the dead ball era when they ran and scratched a lot, sacrificed and ran. So the Rays now have stolen a base in 19 consecutive games, matching the 1914 Yankees. Here's Hockey. He shortens on the bat, takes a good look at ball 1.
Yeah, you got the best of all worlds right now, because the corners are in looking bunt. Hockey squared to bunt, but you also got an excellent base stealer in Jason Bartlett, who steals third extremely well, and you got a left-handed pitcher on the mound. The only disadvantage is you got a free shot for the catcher to third base with a lefty at the plate.
And Hockey showing the bunt. That's a strike. It's 1-1.
And Capper's got good speed at the trail end of it too. So a lot of things for the Indians defense to think about here, especially after seeing what happened yesterday with Gabe Gross stealing third. A double steal situation.
Now a break to the bag at second by Cabrera, but nothing out of Huff on that.
And really, you know, with Michel Hernandez on deck, that's fine and good. You want to get the lead, but Aki, he stays in there. This lefty has more success against righties than lefties.
And the strike and a throw back down to second, and again Bartlett is in. So it's a 1-2 count. It's kind of an interesting matchup that way, with Aki up there as well. He's hitting .417 against left-handed pitching.
It's not automatic that he'd be bunting right here. That's right. Of course, now with 2 strikes,
down on the count now.
Bunt. Yeah. That doesn't mean Bartlett won't take off at some point. The Indians are aware of that, trying to keep him close.
And the pitch away, and Cabrera breaking to the bag, trying to get a little daylight. He was actually close to the bag at second when the pitch was made.
You know, when you got this situation as a manager, you know, you show bunt early, but once you get the count in your favor, you take it off. Now it's different now because he's had 2 strikes, but that's the great thing about a running team, is you never know exactly what the manager's doing if you're in the other dugout, if you're Eric Wedge.
2-2. Hockey fouls this one away. Hockey working up there against the lefty Huff.
It's interesting because when you watch Terry Francona manage, he just says, you guys take it. I'm just going to take the out on the infield somehow. I'm not going to be covering every base against you guys.
Two and 2 now. And there's a base hit the other way. Bartlett will be held at third. Garco up with the ball in short left field. So Bartlett is at third, Kapler at second, and Aki aboard on a base hit the other way. Bases loaded, nobody out.
I mean, that's a good piece of hitting. Really concerned about Bartlett possibly running, and Aki just slaps it into left field. But look where Peralta is. I mean, he's about even with the bag, because you never know what the Rays are going to do. First of all, he wants to be close enough to get to the bag on a steal. And second of all, you never know what Aki's going to do. So, I mean, by him being even with the bag, that ball for sure is a base hit. And it takes the range away from Johnny Peralta.
Well, there's a full-scale conference on the mound for Cleveland. And with this, we'll again go to Todd Callis.
$1,500 is the current bid for the hitting lesson with Pat Burrell. 866-925-4433. In addition to the 1-hour hitting lesson from Burrell here at Tropicana Field, this is geared toward kids. You get admissions to camp, the Rays baseball camp, 4 free ones. Right there, that's an $800 value. In addition to tickets to a Rays game, Pat Burrell t-shirts, 4 of them, and 4 Rays caps as well. Item number 2, the Pat Burrell hitting lesson, guys.
And again, a great experience. Right now, Michel Hernandez. Bases loaded. He lifts a popper down the right side. That's going to be foul and will be out of the reach of the Cleveland defenders. Chu, Carroll, and DeRosa all converging on that one.
Yeah, to make this a big inning, Michel Hernandez wants to get the ball at least in the air with nobody out. Until he gets 2 strikes. Get 2 strikes, you got to do the best you can to put it in play, but he's going to try to get underneath it to get the ball in the air somewhere.
He walked his first time. Get underneath it and give it a ride. How about that? This pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. We saw Hernandez get his first big league home run on a Josh Beckett fastball back on April the 30th. A 1-1 count. And a ground ball fair by the bag and up the left field line. Bartlett's going to score. Kapler's on his way to the plate. Here comes Iwamura. He is safe at the plate. A double for Hernandez. That cleared the bases. And the Rays take the lead. Ted Barrett waited a long time to give the safe sign as Iwamura did get the plate, and Hernandez doubles home all 3 runs. It's 6-3 Tampa Bay.
And Aki on the slide at home did a very smart thing. And let's take a look on the double of the game by Chuckers. Down the left field line. Peralta again was even with the bag. He hit it on the ground, but he found a hole down the left field line there for the 3-run double. But take a look at the slide as Aki comes around. And the good relay, that's a good relay right there. And he does touch home plate with the left hand. And Ted Barrett's waiting to make a call. And he finally made the right call. But what Aki did well is he didn't go back to tag the plate again.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure Ted Barrett actually saw the left hand in there. But because Aki knew he got it, he didn't go back to touch it again. He's telling the umpire, listen, I made it.
1 strike to count to BJ. Takes this one down.
Take a look. Now, look at where Ted Barrett is. See, he's not really sure if the hand got in there or not, at least from that. Look where he's at. He's behind the play. He didn't make the call until Aki just said, hey, I touched it. I'm not going back there. Now he's telling Upton, hey, I touched it. And how many times, Dwayne, have you seen, we've all seen, guys go back a second time to home plate? What you're doing is you're letting the umpire know, well, I missed it.
Exactly.
Even if you did get it. Well, he didn't make a call yet, so I'm going to make sure he knows I made it. And then by then, the catcher tags you out.
This one high, 3-1, and there was that delay by Barrett, which was problematic, but there was no question that Aki touched it with his hand as he went by. And the Rays have made it a 4-run inning with nobody out.
Well, umpires will get influenced by what you do as a runner, by what you do as a catcher.
There's a strike, 3-2. That's why, you know, it's always important to execute a play well, because if you give them a hint or an opportunity because you made a bad throw or a poor tag or
Right.
you're out of position, the chances are you might not get a call.
If you're sure, you're letting the umpire know, and he'll say, oh, okay.
Fly ball to center. Francisco is there to make the catch. That's the first out of the inning as Michel Hernandez holds on at second. Well, a big double for Hernandez, giving him 7 runs batted in for the year, his second double. Well, he's quietly doing a good job on this club.
He really has. You know, and I think he felt also Victor Martinez had been calling some pitches in on Michel. I think you can feel that. I know you can feel that as a hitter when they're pitching you in. If you set up too soon inside. So he said, they're going to pitch me in. I'm going to turn on something. And he did.
1-0 the count to Carl Crawford. Crawford drove in the first run of this game back in the first. There's a strike. 1-1. The Rays have come back to take the lead. Two balls and a strike. Crawford now hitting .340 for the year. Well, it's great to see him healthy and running and hitting and doing the things you know he can do. There's a little tap. Puck will go to first, close, and he is out there. Well, you can't take too much time on a play like that. Crawford could beat that out, and he just barely was out. 2 gone.
Here's Aki's slide for Altel right here, circling the bases. Look at that, left hand gets in there. It's tough from that angle. That's the angle Ted Barrett has. Let's say he avoids it, puts the hand down. The third shot right here, you can definitely see that, but Ted Barrett's kind of behind the play, and he's waiting to make sure, and then he does make the right call. But if had Aki gone back, I guarantee you, he would have waited for the catcher or Aki to get to home plate. If the catcher tags him, he probably would have called him out.
Strike the count to Andy Sonnenstein. See if Andy can chip in here and help the cause. 1-1. And replay of Aki for Altel Wireless. There's a circle for everyone. Call 510 or 20 free numbers on any network with My Circle exclusively from Altel. And a fly ball back into left. Garko's going to have to go back over his head to the wall. Hernandez scores. Sonnenstein in at second with a double, and he drives in another run. That makes it 7-3. The Rays' number 3 hitter, Andy Sonnenstein, comes through with an extra base hit.
Hey, that's a good short swing. You just put it in play right there. I wanted to say I had a feeling, but it's too late now, so it won't count for me. But Garko playing shallow, of course, because if Andy drops a single in there, he's got to throw Michel Hernandez out, but so the ball does get over his head for the double.
Well, he was a 400 hitter coming in. He's only 1 for 3 today.
Look at him.
And look at that. He's replaced Evan Longoria.
Taking one of his RBIs away. That was Evan's RBI. Does Evan get 47 now? Do you pass it on?
That little lineup snafu cost the Rays the DH, and Longoria went to the bench. And Sonnenstein, who had the hit, is 1 for 3, and he picks up the double. That makes it a 5-run inning and a 7-3 ball game. Here's Carlos Pena. They're going to walk him, so they'll shift back out of the shift for the intentional walk. The bullpen is busy, so they're going to put Pena on. Ben Zobrist, who's a switch hitter, is on deck, so pick your poison.
Yeah, I think this might be it for David Huff. I mean, he's going to have push. You count these 4 intentional walk pitches right here. He's getting up in the mid-90s. You don't want your bullpen guy to put the guy on, so you do it with the kid that's out there. But we'll see. Yeah, I think you got to take the kid out. Yeah.
So Eric Wedge comes out following the intentional walk to Pena. So a pitching change coming for Cleveland, and we'll be back in a moment.
Pitch at the end of the game. Everybody can, perform at their best throughout the game, but when it all comes down to it, sometimes it comes down to that one pitch between the pitcher and the hitter, and it's that battle between pitcher and hitter that's exciting.
Well, Ben Zobrist has supplied some exciting at-bats for the Rays over the last year and a half, including a couple of home runs this week. Thursday, been connecting from the left side. Hit one out in game 1 of this series. Then he hit one out to right in the 8th inning of Friday's game. That tied the game, and the Rays won it on Upton's home run. Now Greg Aquino is the new pitcher following the lefty David Huff.
Aquino's been around a while, 30-year-old. He's been with Baltimore, the Brewers, Diamondbacks, down in Columbus for a short stint, AAA with the Indians.
Pitch to Zobrist. That's a strike. Aquino out of the Dominican Republic. First got to the big leagues in 04 with Arizona. One and one to count. 3 2/3 for Huff. He's in the mid-90s in the pitch count department. Wow. 1-2.
That ball just ran out of the zone right there. That's not a good pitch. Not a good call. Last season with the Orioles, 12.5 earned run average, only 9 innings. Look at the hits, 17 hits and 9 walks.
And a foul tip strikeout. So that pitch that ran the count to 1-2 really forced Zobrist to chase that one. But the Rays have a 5-run inning.
Games, play with a lot of the friends, a lot of my teammates, and you know, just pretty much anything outdoors. I like to be active.
And he's been active on the bench. He's been taping his bat. He had his batting gloves out earlier, and that RBI double by Sonnenstein. See, this is before the double. So with Sonnenstein reasserting himself as perhaps the best hitting pitcher on the staff, Kazmir might have to put that bat back in the rack.
Well, I think, too, I mean, you're getting to the point where Longoria can come up in for a double switch here in another inning or two, assuming that Andy can get through the fifth and hopefully beyond, because the bullpen's been used so much. But that's the one thing with Zobrist at third, and he can go to the outfield. And Longoria can come in at some point and play defense and get a couple of at bats.
The strike. 0-2 the count to Ben Francisco. He homered back in the second, accounting for all three of the Cleveland runs. Down and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he really, as we feared at the time, he has really been a thorn in Sonnenstein's side. And continued to be that with that home run. Cut, fouls it.
Pretty good pitch because it tied him up. And Andy's got 3 of the last 4 batters that struck out, Peralta, Garco, and DeLucci. And all of them struck out because they were set up by pitches inside, up and in. It helped his off-speed stuff.
There's a fly ball back into deep left field, and that one is going to get out of here. Francisco does it again. His second home run of the game off Sonnenstein. That makes it 7-4, and he continues unbelievable success against Andy. He is now 6 out of 7 with 4 home runs off Sonnenstein.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's just a rolling curveball right there. He left it right over the heart of the plate. Not a whole lot of bite to it. Very flat. And I would like to see him put back inside, up and in, even higher than the pitch before.
Now Cabrera takes a strike. Look at this. I mean, those are imposing numbers. Getting more imposing all the time. On a play foul. 0-2.
Even if you know what's coming, it's tough to do that in a big league game. Even if you knew every pitch that's coming from the guy. But, you know, you look at the pitch, it's just not a very good pitch. It's a rolling curveball. Set it on the table for him. I mean, he executed, but you got to make a better pitch than that. 1-2.
Cabrera fouls it. It's a 1-2 count to him. The Indians make it a 3-run game. Ben Francisco has made it a 3-run game. Sonnenstein's going to have to cover with Pena taking the toss. So that's the first out in the 5th. And once again, for an auction update, here's Todd Callis.
All right, Dwayne, we have another item number 3. It's going to be a Saturday and Sunday in Seattle, and the bid is up to $2,500 right now. Here's what it includes: 2 tickets, airfare, hotel, tickets to 2 different games at Safeco Field against the Mariners when the Rays are in town, the lineup card for the game, and this autographed bat by Akinori Iwamura, as well as, weather permitting, you can get passes to be on the field for batting practice. That bid right now is at $2,500. S. Walton has the high bid. It's August 8th and 9th in Seattle. A little flight out there and a chance to go to one of the best stadiums in the Major League, Safeco Field. Guys, as I toss it back to you, I was just, can Andy Sonic, you know, down the lineup.
Two strikes to count here to Carroll, and we had a little trouble hearing Todd, but we understand that he was wondering, since Sonnenstein's next start will be an interleague play on the road against the Marlins, is he going to have to give up the number 3 spot in the lineup? And Going to be in the lineup, but is he going to hit ninth or is he going to hit third?
I think he's going to have to give it up. But it wasn't impressive at bat.
The count to Carroll. Ooh, it missed by too much. It's 1-2. Well, whatever happens in his next start, the good thing is that he's not going to have to face Ben Francisco.
Boy, you're not kidding. 6 for 7 with 4 home runs against Andy.
Fly ball into left center field. That's going to be in for extra bases. That 2 hops the wall. Carroll's digging hard around second. He's going to scoot into third, and he'll make it. A 3-base hit for Carroll, his first extra base hit of the year. And the Indians now have a man at third with only 1 out, and they're trying to chip away at what is a 3-run deficit right now.
Yeah, everything down, and Carroll was just locked in down. Everything's down, down, down. And he was looking free right away. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a big seam out there in left center. And once he hit that with his speed, he got to third base easily.
And now it's going to be Victor Martinez. He's hitting .404. Ground ball. Hockey has it. The throw to first is in time. The run scores. So Martinez put the ball in play to get the run home. And it's a 2-run game now. It's 7-5. 26th run batted in for Martinez. A homer and a triple and a ground ball, and 2 runs have scored. Su Chu takes a breaking ball at the knees for a strike. Rays have the shift on for him. One and one. He tried to bunt against the shift in the third and put it back to the mound. Soundstein made a nice little play to get him. Ball, 2 strikes.
Now he's got to make the pitch. He's going to throw his curve. He's got to make sure he drops it in the dirt. With a harder curve, put away pitch.
And Chu takes it. 2-2. But better there than the one Francisco saw.
Yep.
He hit out. Foul ball holds the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, that's just hard to fathom Francisco's mastery of Sodenstein. The other way. Andy trying to finish off the Indians here in the 5th.
Well, I thought, 4 at-bats is a good cross record. 7 at-bats is a really good cross record.
Yeah, absolutely. Foul ball.
Incredible.
Count holding at 2-2. Chu extending this at-bat to 8 pitches. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's the other thing that concerned you with Andy. You'd love for him to limit his pitch count because you don't want to show the other hitters a lot of pitches.
Right. Exactly.
Ground ball, that's foul outside of first. So we'll go to at least a 10-pitch at bat here against Chu.
25 this inning, and you can see in the second inning 34. Other than that, the other 3 innings are excellent. Anything below 14, 15 an inning is very good. If you're doing 12 or less, you're really doing the job.
Ground ball to first. Pena makes the play unassisted. 2-run score. We go to the bottom half of the fifth. It's 7-5 Rays. Save 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Gulf Coast Honda. Visit GulfCoastHondaDealers.com to find great deals on fuel-efficient Hondas. Rays hold a 7-5 lead as they move into the bottom half of the fifth inning. They sent 10 men to the plate to score 5 in the fourth. That gave them the lead. The Indians answered with a couple in the fifth. And now here's Jason Bartlett going after the first pitch, and he pops it up foul back, and that ball is going to be out of play. Strike one.
Yeah, you like to get those couple of runs right back and try to open up this lead, because you'd like to get another inning at least out of Andy Sonnenstein. That the bullpen's been used so frequently the last 5-6 days.
There's a little looper back of first, fair. Extra bases coming for Bartlett. He's headed to second with a leadoff double as Chu comes up with the ball in foul territory. Bartlett with a triple, a single, and now a two-base hit.
Take a look at the pitch right here. Just right down the middle. He just stayed inside it. He hit it real hard, but did stay inside it. Drops it into right field for the double. And he does have home run power this year, so that's not out of the question that a cycle's in order here for him today.
He came close to hitting one out in the second when he hit one off the top of the wall in left for his triple. He's at second base now. Here's Gabe Kapler. He's stealing third, and there will be no play. He is so good at stealing third. A strike to Kapler. The 11th stolen base of the year for Bartlett.
Watch him keep his feet moving right here. They never made him stop out there. Once Okino turned and looked home, Bartlett was gone. You got to make him stop. He kept his feet moving. That's the key to stealing a base, especially third base. It's an old Ricky Henderson trick. Ricky Henderson always kept his feet moving, even from first base. You got to make him stop, and the Indians didn't.
Now the infield comes in for Cleveland. Kapler takes the pitch down for a ball. It's 1-1.
One of the better base stealers I can remember stealing third was Robbie Alomar when he was with Toronto. Boy, if you didn't make him stop his feet, he was gone. It was unbelievable.
You're right. And I tell you, Bartlett's he's in the elevated class when it comes to stealing third. 2 balls and a strike to count to Kapler. Gabe got a run home with a ground ball in the second inning. Similar situation now. The double and the steal putting Bartlett at third with nobody out.
Yeah, the only difference now, the infield's in, so he's got to get the ball in the air with nobody out this time to try to get the run in.
He fouls it. The count goes to 2-2. Well, with the infield in, that gives him room for a little looper or
yeah,
hard through the infield.
You just got to make sure he gets through one. I'm at 2-2. Now you got to put it in play. But you know, the Indians' bullpen has struggled so much this year that Eric Wedge says, I can't give up any more runs now here in the fifth inning.
Two. And a little pop-up foul. That's going to wind up out of play.
Almost the looper you were talking about.
Yeah, that's right. Just a little lower and a little longer, just over the infield. You know, I was looking last year. Bartlett was 9 of 11 in stealing third base.
Yeah, a lot of guys, a lot of base stealers don't have the confidence to steal third. They're okay going into second, but the real good base stealers will tell you that stealing third is easier than stealing second base if you have the guts to do it.
There's ball 3. So the count goes full. Greg Aquino in relief of Huff. Huff gave up 7 runs on 7 hits and 3 2/3. Rays trying to take advantage of the leadoff double and steal of third by Bartlett. You see Aki on deck. And a 3-2 to Kaplan. Fouls this one.
Protection swing right there. They ran the ball in on him just in case. Gabe just, I'm going to get my hands through that and foul it off. Never know. It could be called strike 3 if I take it.
This is a good job. Bounced that one and gave me a souvenir. Yeah. 3-2 again. Ground ball shortstop bobbled, and the throw to first still in time. Cabrera bobbled it but turned around and found it again, and Bartlett hangs on at third base. So with one away, man still at third. Let's check in with Witt.
Yeah, Dwayne, a couple of quick points. We're still looking for our sign of the game, and we'll show that to you before our broadcast wraps up. And secondly, for those viewers on Facebook, you can now follow us and become a fan of Fox Sports Florida and Sun Sports. Just search Sun Sports, Fox Sports Florida at Facebook.com. A ton of exclusive content. And if there are interviews or features that you saw on Rays Live and would like to see again, a lot of those make it to our Facebook page as well. So again, search Sun Sports, Fox Sports Florida on Facebook. You can become a fan, get some exclusive content, and tomorrow we'll have a special feature on exactly how you can do that, both on Facebook and on Twitter. That's part of Rays Live later this week. Dwayne?
All right, thank you for that info. A behind-the-scenes look. Aki's going to be the hitter against a drawn-in infield. Kapler extended the at-bat before he hit the ground ball to Cabrera at short. Here's Aki. Pitch inside. This is an important run for the Rays to pick up.
It is. Absolutely.
For a couple of reasons. Number one, you want to score as many runs as you can. And number two, if you let the Indians off the hook here, now they're going to start to think, hey, you know, we can still claim this game.
Right. You got to keep pressure on the Indians because they came back with a 2-spot last inning, and you got to get at least one of those back. Pressure on them.
1 ball, 1 strike. So that's a big spot in this 2-run game right now. He singled and scored in the 5-run 4th. Pitches away. 2-1.
Thing about about Aquino too. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's got a pretty good two-seam sinking fastball. That's how he got Gabe Kapler. And what he's trying to do here with Aki. He did come inside on Aki to try to set up that sinker. The first pitch he came up and in pretty well. But Aki's got to do the same thing. He's got to try to get through the ball and get it in the air.
This one up and away. 3-1. Michel Hernandez is on deck. He had the big blow, the bases loaded double in the fourth. Is the Rays catcher. 3-1 the count to Iwamura. And ball 4. Aki takes a walk.
That ball that Gabe Kapler hit, take a look at Cabrera right here. Eats it off the heel right there. He was able to backhand it, do a 360, check Bartlett out, who did break late, and still get the out at first base. And the reason Bartlett broke late, he wasn't going on contact, but he was trying to read the play. And he thought with that bobble by Cabrera, might have a chance to score, and he backhanded it. Magician out there.
That's a pretty good recovery.
Juggling act, yeah, it was. Well, hit him right in the heel of the glove and was able to backhand it, and then have the presence of mind to wheel around, do a reverse 360, and check out Jason Bartlett at third.
Now the Indians will play for a ground ball double play. Michel Hernandez shortens on the bat, takes the pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. So that'll give the Indians something to think about.
Yeah, we've seen this play before. We want to give all the secrets out, but
yeah, exactly.
There is a play by design when somebody's squares around a butt like that. It's not a squeeze. At least it's not a suicide squeeze.
A 1-0 count. And a ground ball to short. Cabrera to Carroll 1, first base 2. They get the 6-4-3 double play, and the Rays do not score. We're through 5, 7-5 Tampa Bay. Without Evan Longoria because of a lineup mishap. Andy Sonnenstein, the Rays pitcher, has been in the 3rd spot since the beginning of the contest as it went into the bottom of the 1st. Back out there to work the 6th, facing Johnny Peralta. First pitch strike.
Really important inning for Sonnenstein because his spot is due to hit 3rd in the 6th. And And a couple things can happen. The bullpen was kind of stretching in between innings there. They're standing up, some of the guys. Andy's getting to that point. Joe Madden, becomes cautious.
Ground ball, backhanded by Bartlett. Throw to first is in time. So Peralta is out of there. One away, and once again, let's go back to Todd Callis for an update on the auction.
Dwayne, we're up to $2,200 on item number 5, which is in front of me right here. It is the Party at Tropicana Field. By the way, the $100 prize packs are all sold out, so don't call those numbers anymore. But the Party at Tropicana Field, you can host. It's geared towards kids 14 and under. 16 guests in a suite for a game. They get a special gift delivery from Raymond, 4 passes to watch batting practice, and a video board welcome during the game, as well as the opportunity to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the 7th inning stretch. That bid is up to $2,200, and that is the Party at Tropicana Field, item number 5, guys.
All right. Thank you very much for that update. There's a long fly ball down the left field line. That's going to be a foul ball. Shows you some of Garco's power.
It was a loud foul ball right there.
It was.
He does have a lot of power, and just finishing the point, because Longo will definitely be in this game at some point. And I think you're going to see Zobrist probably go out to right field, and hopefully Andy can get through it 1, 2, 3.
Pitch is up. Yeah, he's up to 98 pitches or so, somewhere in that neighborhood right now.
Yeah, right, exactly. So Balfour indeed is up. I mean, you saw him stretching, and that's exactly the right move.
Pitch in on Garco, and he fouls it out of play to take it to 2-2. And he pops him up. Right side, Pena with his big hit makes the catch. 2 gone now. Next Sunday, NASCAR on Fox heads to Charlotte, North Carolina. Casey Kane will try to defend his title against a full field of the world's best drivers. Coverage of the Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte begins Sunday at 5 p.m. in high definition on Fox. Tony Stewart won the shootout last night. David DeLucci takes a strike.
Well, I'll tell you one guy that I think you and I both know, and maybe people out there listening know, that he's not going to face, and that's not going to be Francisco.
That's exactly right.
He's not going to see Francisco for a 3rd time. So this is important out right here. Even if he doesn't get DeLucci, he probably faces DeRosa, and that'll be about it. And maybe not. I mean, like you said, he's getting over. That's 100 now for Andy. 100 pitches.
There's ball 3. He falls behind the left-handed hitting DeLucci, the DH. 3-1. There's a strike. Boy, you'd love to see him get him and just have a 1, 2, 3, 6th inning.
Because then Joe has to make a decision if he walks him for some reason or he gets on, whether to let him face one more. And I don't think you do.
And a liner into right. It is a base hit. Kapler, a great effort and a great job of keeping that ball in front of him after he made the diving effort. So DeLucci has a base hit. And the Rays do have a decision to make. Madden looking down toward the dugout. Out of the dugout toward the bullpen as you see Kapler.
Yeah, and what Gabe did there, he said, well, why didn't he turn the glove the other way? It's because the ball had already hit the ground, and now he was trying to save it from going in past him into right field behind him for a double or a triple. That was a nice job right there to save it.
Now, Madden has gotten the sign from the bullpen that Balfour is ready, and Joe comes out of the dugout. He's going to have to probably he's going to make the National League move here, I think.
Yeah, he has to. I mean, you can move Kapler, you can put Zobrist to right, you can put Longo at third in his 3 spot, and if you do that, see, Longoria will get 2 at bats.
Yeah.
So I would put Longoria right back in his 3 spot.
Because the 3rd spot is due up 3rd.
Right. Do the double switch.
6th.
Right. We'll see if he does that or not. Yeah, there's Longo getting his glove. This is the right move. This is National League style. And this is exactly the right move.
So the Rays will make the double switch here. An American League game of the double switch. All right, back in a moment.
Who knew?
Huge right now. We kind of got a band going on over at Jeff Neiman's house, so we've been doing that, and you know, that's pretty much where all my time spent is, you know, either here or on the couch relaxing, playing some video games.
Well, some of his spare time was spent in the Rays dugout, and he's going to take over now at third base as the Rays make the double switch. Ben Zobrist will go out to play right field. Longoria in the game at third, with Grant Balfour entering the game. So Longoria will go into the third spot in the lineup, and with Kapler out, Balfour will slip into the seventh position.
Balfour came in yesterday and did a nice job. He had that big strikeout with Kelly Shopik. A nice slider, and if he gets that slider over, it's going to make that 93 to 95 fastball so much more effective.
Well, he's in to face Mark DeRosa, who walked and scored in the second inning. A fly ball to center in the fourth. The pitch is high. 1 ball to no strikes. So let's take a look at that lineup card. Longo was originally in there, but couldn't play because of the listing of 2 third basemen on the official lineup card. That's 2-0 to DeRosa.
And you got to keep Ben Zobrist in there. That obviously makes sense. And so Gabe Kapler comes out. The pitcher spot is now hitting 7th behind Jason Bartlett.
And a little popper out to short. Bartlett has it, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Bottom of the 6th inning coming, and the Rays lead 7-5. The all-new Rebel T1i, now shooting in full HD video, inspired by Canon. And SunTrust, featuring online solutions to help your business stay on solid ground. Live solid, bank solid, SunTrust. There's a look inside the Rays broadcast auction war room. The phones are still busy. There's still time to get in on these great gift items. Some great packages still available. Rays lead 7-5. Bottom of the 6th inning finds B.J. Upton leading off. 1-0 the count. A pretty good pitch right there from Aquino. 1-1.
Breaking ball right there. We haven't seen yet. Back B.J. up a little bit.
And a little chopper back over the mound. He might beat this one out. Carroll's throw just got him. Nice play by Jamie Carroll, the second baseman, on that chopper.
Boy, he did. He got a good jump, a good break on this. Jamie Carroll did. Right over the mound. Gets it on the long hop and throws a strike. One more hop. If that had short hops, he probably doesn't get B.J.
One away. Carl Crawford will hit. Let's check in with Todd quickly. Todd?
Dwayne, we've got some updates on the big board here for the Pinellas Education Foundation and the Hillsborough Education Foundation. The All-Star trip to St. Louis, trip for 2, including tickets to the Home Run Derby in the game, up to $4,600. We've got the Pat Burrow hitting lesson here at Tropicana Field, $1,700. Trip to Seattle, $2,900. Trip for 2 to New York and to see the new City Field, including tickets on all these trips. That's up to $3,500, and the party suite for 16 people is up to $2,500. And Amanda has been with us the whole day at all these auctions. It's been busy for you?
Not busy enough. We need more bids.
All right, we need more bids, guys. She's got to stay busy from here to the end of the game. So make sure you call into that number you see right above me. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you for that update. Yeah, we're on the home stretch here in the auction, so little chopper, right side, backhanded, and a race to the bag. Crawford and Aquino held on to the toss from DeRosa. So some good defensive work here by the Indians in the 6th inning.
Yeah, take a look. This is where you can see somebody getting hurt right there. Aquino can't stop his momentum as he gets Carl Crawford. Carl ran up the back of him, but avoided could have been a major injury right there.
Well, now it's going to be Evan Longoria to get his long-awaited first plate appearance here this afternoon. He was in the lineup. He was going to be the DH, but somehow the official lineup turned in, had him at third base and Zobrist at third base. And so the Rays had to forfeit the DH and put Sonnenstein, the pitcher, in there. Eric Wedge came out in the bottom of the 1st inning, and the Rays ultimately had to scratch Longoria, put Sonnenstein in there. But on the double switch, Longoria's in there at his usual third spot at third base now. The Rays still without the DH. The pitch is low and outside. The Rays did get an RBI double out of Sonnenstein. He was 1 for 3. Bouncer back a third, foul. 1-1.
Yeah, if Eric Wedge had alerted the umpires as he saw the lineup card before the game actually started, then Longoria, you could have kept Longoria in the game at DH and would have lost, or at third base, and would have lost Zobrist. But once the guys take the field, once the starting 9 takes the field, those guys are in the game no matter what the lineup card says.
2-1 the count to Evan. Rays got all 7 of their runs off the starter David Huff. Now 3 balls and a strike. It up, foul, straight back. That's going to wind up in the upper deck.
Well, we We've seen him hit that ball in the upper deck, but fair for a home run. That's why he jumped on it. I don't think he's going to see anything close this pitch. Something down and away.
2 outs, bases empty. 3-2. And a foul ball off his foot. You know, Aquino came on in the 4th inning. He got Zobrist on strikes, then gave up the double to Bartlett, who stole 3rd. Got out of that spot. The double play ball ultimately to Michel Hernandez. A couple of ground balls here. Now a full count to Longoria.
He had 4 saves in Columbus. They were using him as a closer there in AAA.
But he gives you a little bit of that across the body delivery, which makes him a little difficult to pick up sometimes. But he walks Longoria. He kept it down and away. And that's going to get Carlos Pena up there. Don't forget, baseball fans, the $250,000 Mustang Money tickets go on sale on May the 19th. You can register from the 19th through June 11th to win a 2010 Ford Mustang V6 convertible, Ultimate Florida Baseball Weekend Getaway, or $100 gas cards. Visit FLALottery.com for details. Carlos Pena over to first, and Longoria is back in.
Happy birthday, Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos is 31 today.
Good time to get those 2 runs back with one of those long ones.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Go for 2. He was intentionally walked in the 4th. And that Hurts is the veteran right-hander up in the bullpen for Cleveland. Strike count to Pena.
Pretty good off-speed pitch Aquino threw. I think they kind of stay with that. Carlos is pretty good though. After he makes a swing like that, gets fooled. He usually reads the ball out of the pitcher's hand pretty well. He makes good adjustments, unfortunately, at bat.
Down around his feet. Boy, that just about got him. It's 1-1.
He did that so he could set up that off-speed pitch away. So that's what you got to do to big hitters. Make them move their feet, and he did.
Carlos takes this one away. 2 balls and a strike. A fastball down and away. Rays have a 2-run lead. They're playing most of this game without Evan Longoria, without the benefit of the DH. Evan has walked. He's at first with 2 gone. Takes the count to 2-2. Had a 5-run 4th. That was their big inning. They're going to pick Longoria off first base, and that's going to retire the side. Longoria picked off, and the Rays are finished in the 6th. No runs, a walk. The pickoff and nobody left. We go to the 7th. 7-5 Rays. Wrap-up game of the 4-game series here. The Rays and the Indians. The Oakland A's will be in tomorrow night. Grant Balfour, who got the final out in the 6th, out here to open the 7th against Ben Francisco. Pitch a little bit away, 1-0. Francisco has hit 2 home runs today, driving in 4 of the 5 Cleveland runs. Ball 2 is low, 2-0. After going 6 of 7 with 4 homers off Sonnenstein, he's 0 for 3 against Grant Balfour in his career, and now Balfour falls behind him 3-0.
Well, you got to come all the way back because you got the heart of the order coming up, and Victor Martinez and Chu. If you get a base runner or 2, you don't want those guys hitting with men on base. Wow.
And there's ball 4. So Francisco is aboard. Let's go to Whit Watson here. Whit.
All right, Dwayne. Well, we got the sign of the game. The artwork here is outstanding. Lindsay is from Palmetto, the North River Little League. The guys are gathered. Everybody wave. This is our sign of the day. Right down here in the corner, best part, I love Longoria. I don't think you're alone in that regard. Is he your favorite player, Lindsay?
Yes.
Tell me, kind of awkward he didn't get a chance to start the game because of a lineup mix-up, but you got to see him hit.
Yeah, I was really excited to see him hit because he's really cute.
You know, we hear that a lot, that he's kind of cute. Guys, everybody say hello. On a Kids Sunday, say hi to Dwayne and Kevin and our sign of the day, guys.
All right, that's a pretty good scouting report. He's cute. And he leads the majors and runs batted in. There's ball 1 to Cabrera. 5 straight pitches out of the strike zone now. Cabrera double back in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3. There's the strike. 1-1.
A bad call when you throw 5 balls with your fastball. Call a breaking ball. Drive the ball down. Do something different. Good pitch.
And a wave and a miss. Fastball going there, and it's a 1-2 count.
Yeah, it looked harder than 89. Yeah, I saw on the screen there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm buying all of these readings we get from time to time.
Yeah, I'm not either. I think that ball obviously got by Cabrera. There's 91, but looks like he's throwing harder.
Cisco at first with a walk. 1-2 the count to the Cleveland infielder. Cabrera's been impressive in this series.
He has.
You really have to like what you see out of him.
He's a good defensive player, that's for sure. He's swinging the bat this year.
Ooh, pretty close. That's going to take the count to 2-2.
Yeah, that pitch froze Cabrera. Man, that's a good fastball right there. Couldn't have done much with it anyway. He's choking up the bat even more. Off the Grant Balfour.
Bounce it back, another fastball. It's in a 2-strike mode.
Yeah.
Chokes up to begin with, and
Yeah,
you
he does.
pointed out even more. That used to be almost standard issue. Oh, Mark Topkin, is everybody all right? Yeah, that's Mark Topkin from the St. Petersburg Times. Did he field it cleanly? And is it an error or a hit? Upstairs. Full count. You don't want to give him any base runners with the guys coming up to follow. Carroll next, and then down to Victor Martinez. Runner goes 3-2 back toward the middle, could get two. Out at second and out at first, and the Rays pull the double play. The Indians started the runner, and as a result, the Rays are right there to get two.
Yeah, I know what Eric Wedge is feeling on the bench. Geez, we get something going, we get a runner started, and because of that, Bartlett's covering second base, and instead of a base hit, runners at first and third, it's a 6 unassisted to first double play. Great reaction by Bartlett with a quick step to get in there just before Francisco to get the lead runner, too.
It continues to amaze me about Bartlett. There's just not a play that he doesn't think he can make.
Oh, that was quick reactions on that, because that was not an easy play, because the runner's bearing down on him, and he's able to still hit the bag before the throw to first.
Now Carroll takes a pitch upstairs. Boy, that's a big double play in a 2-run game late.
And that's a pick-me-up. And now, if you're Grant Balfour, you got to say, you know what, I got to bury Jamie Carroll. I got to put him away. No walks. You pick me up, I got to pick the team up, because you don't want to have Carroll on there with Victor Martinez coming up. It's a big confidence builders for the pitching staff when you make plays like that.
A liner headed back toward the corner. Crawford on the run. He's going to have to watch it one hop the wall, and Carroll picks up a double. That's his third hit. Well, hit number 8 for Cleveland. Carroll has a single, a triple, and a double in 4 at-bats. And Victor Martinez will bat here in the 7th inning.
Well, now how big is that play Bartlett made?
Oh, boy.
I mean, that's a 2-run double right there.
Toyota Trend entering today. He was 9 of 12 in the series. He came in hitting .409. He's 0 for 3 with a run batted in on a ground ball to second in the 5th in this game.
Victor Martinez at bat today. Backdoor little cutter or fly out to left. Another little backdoor cutter for a ground out to first. And another one for a ground out to second base. All 3 of those pitches had some movement in on his hands. Or 2 were away, the last one on his hands. This is power on power here, and Victor Martinez does have good power.
And the first pitch is a strike. And Balfour pours it in there. Martinez 1 out of 3 against Balfour for his career. Rays have J.P. Howell up in the bullpen. Down. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, there's a huge shift on, but Longoria's playing over at third base, and there's a huge hole at shortstop there for Victor Martinez. And as hard as Balfour throws, if he does throw something away, Victor can shoot a ball right through that hole. He will take the RBI.
2-1. Balfour got the final out of the 6th. He's working the 7th here. Here's J.P. Howell. Two-one. Foul ball. Fastball. Rounded to the left and back into the screen.
Yeah, he shortened his swing right there. He was trying to shoot that ball off the field. 94 fastball. He's got really good bat control because he's so quiet at the plate. He doesn't have overstride. Stays back on the back leg extremely well.
Upstairs, and the count runs full. Yeah, and it really didn't make much difference whether he's hitting left or right-handed, because he came in hitting .417 right-handed and .406 left-handed. Probably got a little more pop right-handed. And it's low for ball 4. So that'll put 2 men on with 2 men out. Chu, the left-handed hitter, is due, and Joe Madden comes out. And I'm not sure. I think Balfour thinks that last pitch might have been good. So a pitching change coming. We'll be right back in a moment.
Easy because the baseball pace gets a little hectic at times, and I like to slow it down as much as I can.
Well, JP's in this game. Bottom of the top of the 7th inning. The Rays have a 7-5 lead, and he's on to face the left-handed bat of Shin-Soo Choo. Pitch outside. Martinez at first and Carroll at second. 2 outs.
17 games for JP, 2.81 earned run average. And he's got a tough guy because Chu has really shown that he's a darn good hitter with good bat speed and some power.
With a strike. 1-1.
The other reason point it was important for Balfour to get the job done is because you got the pitcher spot up 4th in the bottom of this inning.
Yeah, that goes back to the lineup mistake the Rays made early, and they lost the DH, and so it does make the pitching changes and pitching performance even more important after they've gotten Longoria into the game in the double switch. 2-1 count. There's a strike to take it to 2-2.
Nice breaking ball right there. JP's just deceptive with his delivery. A lot of movement on his pitches. Good arm speed on the breaking ball right there.
Against the shift. He got him. He's out on strikes, and that'll do it. Chu tried to check, but he went around. JP gets a big strikeout there, and the Indians lead 2. Bottom of the 7th.
That's not a good thing for the kids. But with my kids, it's probably like Fairly Odd Parents or SpongeBob SquarePants that they're locked into right now. So.
Well, Matt Garza.
He wants to pinch hit now.
Yeah, they all do now.
How about this? 120 pitches yesterday through 6 innings, and he battled hard to get that last out to keep the game at 3-2. But yeah, he wants to pinch hit. Pitcher spot is coming up here 4th this inning.
Yeah, we'll have Pena due, then Zobrist, Bartlett, and the pitcher spot due up. So Joe Madden looks over the lineup card along with Jim Hickey. Howell got a very big out, got the strikeout of Chu to end it. And let's check in once again with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, trip to New York for 2 as our Rays broadcast auction winds down. It's going to end after the top of the 9th, no matter where the score is. So here's the item. Item number 4. 2 nights. 2 tickets to 2 different games at the brand new Citi Field. It's when the Mets are going to be playing the Rays June 19th and 20th. So you'll be there on a Friday and a Saturday. You also get dinner at Foley's. You get this Rays authentic batting practice jersey. And weather permitting, field passes so you can watch batting practice. Right now, the high bid for that is $3,500. Citi Field, the brand new Citi Field in New York. Trip up to the Big Apple, a couple nights stay. 2 games for 2 people, as well as that batting practice jersey. Guys, back to you.
Again, just one of the many great items in the auction. All for a great cause. Matt Hergus, the new pitcher, facing Carlos Pena. And the first pitch is a strike. Carlos was at the plate in the 6th when Longoria was picked off first by Greg Aquino, who did a pretty good job for the Indians. I'll tell you, he got a couple of big outs and prevented the Rays from expanding their lead. Carlos takes a swipe at that one and fouls it back 0-2.
Yeah, Evan got picked off because in the 2-2 count, looked like he was trying to just cheat a little bit and get a good jump. like he was going to be stealing second base because Pena was getting a lot of two-seamers down and off-speed stuff from Aquino. Burgess is pitching in the same way.
Strikes the count to Carlos. Burgess away from him. Burgess pitched an inning and 2/3 here in the game Thursday.
The only time they've come inside of Carlos today is just for show. I mean, they've been staying away consistently on him.
Ball. Burgess Thursday was greeted by Ben Zobrist to hit a home run off him. Third pitcher of this game for Cleveland. Carlos takes one close. 2-2.
That's a good eye on that. That ran back over the plate. 86-mile-an-hour two-seamer. But inside and up a little bit.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Big cut and a miss by Pena. And he's out on strikes. So Burgess chalks up the strikeout. Pena out front.
Yeah, good changeup right there. I mean, it not only had good arm speed, it hit the outside corner and fading away from him.
Here's Ben Zobrist. Ben is 1 for 3. He tripled off the wall at right center field in the 4th and scored a run. Pitch is a strike away, a fastball out there. One ball, 1 strike. Play again outside. 2-1. So Victor Zobrist popped that home run off him the other night. He's keeping the ball away from him.
Yeah, they've seen what Ben can do in a ball middle in. Left-handed.
And there's a shot the other way. Back goes Scarco, and he's going to catch the ball as he hits the wall. Hangs on for the out. So Zobrist gave it a ride the other way to the track. 2 gone. And here's Jason Bartlett. 3-hit day for Bartlett. SunTrust solid team performance in the game. Triple the first time, a base hit in the 4th, and a double in the 5th. He also swiped third base in the 5th inning. So he scored 2 runs. He's driven in a run. 3 for 3 with the steals today. Pitch is a strike.
Triple, single, and double for Jason Bartlett as Ibar is in the pitcher spot. And the double switch pitcher spot moved to 7th.
Out of the way, it's 1-1. J.P. Howell is in that spot right now. Dan Wheeler is up in the bullpen. Wheeler in the bullpen. Howell got a big out of 2 in the top half of the 7th. One and 2. Bartlett out in front of the changeup.
Yeah, in the top of the 8th inning, the The Indians have Peralta and Garco, followed by David DeLucci, a lefty, in the DH spot. Of course, Brady Sizemore is still on the bench. Valbuena's still on the bench. A couple of lefties. Porta, a righty.
And Bartlett is out on strikes. That retires the side, out reaching on that one. 1, 2, 3. We're through 7. On to the 8th. Rays lead. Out there with the Rays down 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. They didn't get to the pitcher spot, so he's out here to face Johnny Peralta to lead off the 8th. Peralta, Garco, and DeLucci, the hitters, due up. And Howell's pitch is a little bit high, 1-0. JP did not pitch yesterday. He pitched an inning plus Friday night. Peralta out front.
Good changeup right there. Back-to-back changeups. The other reason JP can start against righties in this inning is because he does have that good off-speed stuff to get the right-handers out. But it's also the right move because you got Brady Sizemore that can come off the bench at any point here too this inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Look at that as a manager. Another reason why JP Howell's back out there. I'd like to keep Brady, even though Brady's scuffling, he still has home run power. I'd like to keep him on the bench. Perfectly the rest of the game.
Yes. And a wave and a miss. He had Peralta out in front again and picks up his 2nd strikeout. Time for the stay in the game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men. And for that, we go to yesterday's game. Schaus and Balfour each coming in for an inning, delivering a hold, just as these middle relievers get their teams in the game. You too can stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. Here's Garco. Pitch is in. 1 ball, no strikes. 28,841. Here, a crowd of just under 29,000 today. That's a strike.
Pitch.
1-1 now. This bullpen for the Rays really is a mix and matchup bullpen. Down a little bit, and any of these guys can be used in any role in almost any inning, is how Joe Madden sees it.
And we saw that last night with Joe Nelson coming on for the save, because he He gets lefties out well. That changeup. He struck out Brady Sizemore there yesterday afternoon.
2-1. There's a drive hit deep to left. Crawford back, and that ball is. Did he get it? It's off the top of the wall, or did he catch it? I think he caught it. He caught it. What a grab. Crawford got a glove on the ball, kept it in the air, and it came down and he caught it. It hit his glove, went up into the air, it came down and he caught it. That's the call. The call made by Andy Fletcher. And Eric Wedge is out to argue it. We're going to have to take another look. At least Wedge is getting them to talk it over. And we'll take another look.
Take a look at Carl right here. Back to the wall. Off the glove, behind the glove.
A long drive by Garko. Well, looks like it might have hit the padding there. And the umpires are talking it over.
Yeah, they're talking it over right now. Let's see what they decide. It looked like it went behind the glove of Carl Crawford. Some kind of effort. And let's see what they saw, because this play is not reviewable.
Well, Wedge was ejected here the other night, and I would say that if they don't somehow get this call in the Indians' favor, we might see him go again.
Yeah, we might. It's been a tough series. Even that double play ball last inning, Cabrera, you put a man in motion, and Bartlett's covering second base. The ball's hit right to him instead of first and third. The double play ball, which turned out to be huge because Carroll then doubled to left field.
Boy, I'll tell you, this is a long conversation. Fletcher gave the out sign, so that's the definitive answer we have to this point. But Eric Wedge is looking for something else, and I just can't imagine that if they don't overrule this and overturn the call, that Wedge has a chance just to come unglued.
Yeah, he really does. Tim McClellan's going to go over and talk to him. I mean, but what that conversation was, did anybody see the ball actually hit the wall?
Wedge is not happy.
That's what the conversation is among the four umpires. Did anybody see it hit the wall, or did it look like? And it did look like the first live action that it was off the tip of the glove, and Carl Crawford caught it and then fired it back in, not knowing what the call would be. Of course, the other thing umpires will look at, did the player try to sell it? You know, if Carl had caught it, he would have tried to sell it to the umpires.
Yeah.
But hey, it popped up off my glove and I caught it.
Well, the umpire's in a difficult position because they made one call. Nobody else apparently really saw it very well. And they've got Eric Wedge, who just...
I've had a call, I've had a call go against me when I was managing in Texas, in Cleveland, by the way, and a guy named Mark Lewis hit what was called a home run, a foul ball off of one of my guys, Rick Honeycutt, and it ended up costing us the game. And as a matter of fact, Tim McClellan was on that crew. It wasn't his call. But
you know what?
They didn't get it right that night, and it cost us the game.
And I'll say this for Tim McClellan. He's showing a lot of patience. He understands the position Wedge is in, and so you got to really give a lot of credit to McClellan. They're in a tough spot, and he's letting Wedge have his say, and it's going to be ruled an out, and the Rays going to break. Boy, the Rays going to break there.
They really do.
And Wedge, and I tell you, I have a lot of respect for Tim McClellan and the umpiring crew. Number one, they missed the call, but I have a lot of respect for them for the way they handled it with Eric Wedge.
Yeah, they just didn't see it. And the night it happened to me, I asked Tim McClellan, who was the crew chief, and he said, Kevin, we didn't see it. It was ball down the left field line, and we didn't see it. And I mean, why isn't that play reviewable? If you're going to have replay, that play should be reviewable.
Yeah.
Because then they would have got the call right.
And at the end of the day, whether it goes for you or against you, the idea is to get the play right.
That's right. Exactly.
And boy, you understand the frustration. 2 outs now with the bases empty as play resumes. The pitch to David DeLucci is a strike call.
Boy, I've been there. What he's going through and feeling right now, I've shared that feeling before. Everything you're doing is just not working out. Then a guy hits the ball off the wall over Carl Crawford's head, and nobody can see it for certain, and the call goes against you.
2 strikes the count.
You put a man in motion, and it's first and third single turns out to be a double play. 3-2 count. Been there.
Up and away. 1-2.
And both sides have, by the way. Joe Maddon's been through this early in the year.
Yeah.
A couple of calls were blown against the White Sox and Yankees.
Strike 3 call. DeLucci down on strikes and then retires the side. So J.P. Howell and the Rays going to break, but Howell retires in 1-2-3. Bottom of the 8th. Is brought to you by Tobacco Free Florida. Tobacco Free Florida wants you to be tobacco free. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com for more information. By Aflac, ask about it at work. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Willie Ibar is going to pinch hit to open the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll be hitting for J.P. Howell. The pitch is down to him. He faces Matt Herges. Herges, a perfect 1-2-3-7. One ball, one strike.
Pretty good changeup going. Matt's kind of resurrected himself. He's a veteran guy now, been around a while. As you take a look at Troy Percival getting ready to try to get his 6th save. But he was a pretty hard thrower at one time at the Dodgers. Matt Herges was 95. A pretty good curveball. Now he's throwing 89, 90, but he's got the great, I think is a great changeup. A good arm speed.
Strike. Had a couple of strikeouts in the 7th inning. In a 1-2-3 frame. 2-2 now to Ibar. Foul down in front of Tom Foley. It's Gary Wood down in the bullpen for the Indians. And Troy Percival has now taken over in the Rays bullpen. Wave and a miss. Ibar out on strikes. So with one out in the bottom of the 8th, one more time, let's go to Todd and Amanda.
We'll get Amanda in a second. She's getting the updated bids, Dwayne. But here, I'm going to go through all the bids and where they are, because the top of the 9th, once that ends, the auction is over officially. 2009 All-Star Game. Trip for 2 to St. Louis. Home Run Derby tickets for 2. All-Star Game tickets for 2. Hotel accommodations, airfare, 2 jerseys, All-Star jerseys. $5,000 is the current bid from Peacocks. Hitting lesson with Pat Burrell, Tropicana Field. This is an item where for an hour, kids from 10 to 18 can have group instruction from Pat Burrell here at Tropicana Field. You also get 4 free admissions to a Rays baseball summer camp. That's a $200 item by itself. Tickets to a Rays game, Burrell t-shirts and caps. Right now that's $2,300. S. Cannon has that high bid. Amanda, you can update these bids, by the way, because I know they want to see you more than me. Trip for 2 to Seattle. Airfare, hotel, tickets to the game, Akinori Iwamura autograph bat. That's up to $3,900, and you see the bid there. Trip for 2 to New York City. You go to the new City Field, dinner at Foley's, hotel accommodation, 2 games. Both of these are 2 games tickets, and if the weather permits, you get on the field for batting practice. That New York trip's up to $4,500. And guys, the last one, the party at Tropicana Field, suite for 16 kids. Raymond's going to have a special gift delivery, sing the 7th inning stretch, video board greeting. That's up to $3,100, and we just bumped up the Pat Burrell hitting lessons to $2,500. The Doyles are now the leading bidder for that. Top of the 9th, at the end of the top of the 9th, it's all over. So make sure you call in to 866-925-4433. And it's Pinellas Education Foundation and Hillsborough Education Foundation. Great, great charities. Guys, back to you.
All right, boy, Todd continues to be the hardest working man in show business. Those are great numbers, and there are still a few numbers to increase on that board. Some great items here on the Rays broadcast auction. And there's still time left. But as Todd pointed out, when the top of the 9th is over, so is the auction. So take a good look at those items. And they sold out those $100 packs. They had 200 of them. They were all gone early. And that was a great bargain as well.
And the All-Star Game's always fun. Still the best All-Star Game of all the major sports.
Yep.
St. Louis this year, new stadium for people that haven't seen it. Fairly new. It's been a few years.
Hockey has walked. A big cut and a miss by Hernandez, who was trying to drive that one out. One strike.
Yeah, he certainly was. No ground balls this time. He's looking to hit one out of the ballpark right there, get one in the air.
The dandy pitch. 0-2.
He's living on that changeup, and he's doing a pretty good job with it. Aki, though, was pretty patient, but other than that, he's had a lot of success throwing that thing for strikes, any count.
Foul the other way, holds the count at 2 strikes.
One thing the Indians pitchers have been doing, they've been really going quick to the plate. Not a true slide step, it's just a quick enough version of getting the ball to home plate with your legs, the lower half. Put a load on the back leg and shorten up your stride.
Up for 3 2/3. Aquino for 2 1/3. Now Matt Hergis in there. Hernandez stays alive against him with that foul ball.
Wouldn't hurt to have a little insurance.
The Indians do have DeRosa, Francisco, and the top of the order, Cabrera. I'll tell you, those three guys at the top of the order have been swinging the bat well, and we know what Francisco has been doing today. Swing and a miss. A big cut by Hernandez. He's out on strikes. It's 4 strikeouts for Hurgis in an inning and 2/3.
And the bullpen today has done a good job between Aquino and Hurgis, and Eric Wedge is going to make sure B.J. Upton, in his mind, it doesn't hit his 3rd home run of the series.
Wedge out to make a pitching change. Wood will enter the game, and we'll be back in a moment.
I was born, they said you can call him Boss Man Jr., and got the BJ out of it, and it's stuck ever since.
Well, there's BJ explaining that that nickname. So he is BJ Upton, and he will face Kerry Wood. BJ with a couple home runs in this series the last couple of nights and days. Hockey the runner at first. First time we've seen Wood in this series.
Yeah, Kerry was the guy that was supposed to just be the key to the whole bullpen, getting the ball to him, but the Indians got a tough time getting the ball to him.
Oh, look at that. Behind BJ. And down to second base goes Iwamura. How about that? Yeah, scored a wild pitch, and how? And BJ is going to take a slow stroll. Boy, oh boy.
Now, I don't know if that was a veteran pitcher thinking if I get in here, I'm going to hit him because he stole a couple of bases down 9-0. But we already explained that got the Rays back in the game the other day. But Kerry Wood, that's definitely to me intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Victor Martinez didn't even move behind the plate. So to me, that was intentional.
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, this time around his knees.
Yeah, those are intentional. He's trying to hit him, and really Ted Barrett should take control right now.
He ought to take control right now. And Joe Madden's a little hot, and he ought to be hot. Absolutely. This is dangerous right here. And Victor Martinez is now yelling back at Madden. And this is what happens when Barrett did not take control of this.
That's right.
And Crawford wants part of Wood.
That's exactly right.
And they asked for it.
Bad job by the umpires right there, not taking control immediately, especially on the first pitch.
I'll tell you, and not only the first pitch, when he follows it up with a second pitch, I mean, he's got to be out of here.
Absolutely.
He has absolutely got to be ejected.
Look at the Angels
and
yesterday.
Fine.
Bob Davidson, people complain about Bob Davidson and John Lackey in his first start. Threw 2 pitches behind Ian Kinsler, and Bob Davidson kicked Lackey out at the start of the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, those are definitely intentional for the other day.
He's got to be gone. And for Victor Martinez to react the way he did, because
that tells you right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You bring your best guy in with the best arm to hit BJ.
I'll tell you, we'll take another look. This is just out and out dangerous.
There's the first one. Obviously, that's intent. That's what Ted Barrett should have taken control. And if he didn't do it on that one, he should have done it on the second one. And does nothing. Nothing. Now, he knows also, Ted Barrett knows, listen, Indians are going through a tough time right now. There was unhappiness the other day. Tim McClellan's trying to take control of this.
Well, they ought to eject Wood right now. I mean, if they're going to eject Lackey at the start of the game the way they did, I mean, this is just blatant. This is blatant.
And all baseball guys watch MLB Channel or Sports Center at night. I mean, that was replayed so many times last night and this morning on TV that I saw it in my head about 15 times what Bob Davidson did. Some people agreed, some disagreed with him kicking out John Lackey, but these two were intentional. And
I mean, they're going to talk it over. I mean, here's the Lackey situation.
First pitch, if he's just coming off a rehab, first pitch of his first game, and the second one hits Kinsler. And look at Bob Davidson saying, "You're gone." Now, Mike Scioscia's going to go nuts. But there had been a history between Lackey and the Rangers, and Kinsler hit 2 home runs the night before.
I mean, I understand the Indians are 14-24 and they're frustrated, but that's just out and out dangerous.
Well, you're at the last game of the series, perhaps the last inning, and you pick your spots. And Victor Martinez was upset 2 days ago, and BJ even apologized about it because somebody probably told him. Or somebody was yelling. But I said this on here. It's 9-0 in the 6th inning. Are they going to stop swinging the bat?
Yeah.
Game's not over. If you're a running team, you run.
Yeah, absolutely. And they came back in that game.
And they made it 9-6 by running in that inning.
That proves the point right there. Well, I just can't believe that Wood is still in the game. There's no way. They still haven't taken charge of this situation.
No, they have not.
So it's 2-0. The pitch is down. 3-0.
BJ knows, of course, those are on purpose. Of course, if Carey hits him now, he's going to be kicked out and suspended. Eric Wedge will be kicked out, maybe suspended.
And ball 4.
And Victor Martinez should be kicked out, in my mind, because it's obvious reacting to Joe Madden and saying some special words. That's just disrespectful, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, there's Carl Crawford with a couple of men on. 2 men on, 2 men out. Crawford takes the ball.
See, those aren't about the home run balls. See, that's different if you're knocking a guy down because he's diving over the plate. That's not about the home run ball. That's about the stolen bases, because that's the catcher's problem. See, Victor had a problem with that.
Yeah. There's a strike, and the count is 1-1. So a dust up here. Everybody's still in the game. Call that a strike. It's 1-2. Crawford drove in a run with a base hit to center back in the first. And he is out on strikes to retire the side. Fastball over the inside part of the plate. Rays lead 2.
Pretty simple. I had a good arm, threw the ball back to the pitcher probably harder than most were throwing it to me, and I couldn't hit. And I think that was the primary thing. I couldn't hit a lick.
Well, he's pretty upfront about that. He actually made the right decision. It's been a great career for Troy Percival, and he's on here trying to close this one out with the Rays holding a 7-5 lead moving into the 9th inning.
Troy just got to concentrate on throwing strikes, and Tim McClellan did warn Troy about, coming inside or hitting somebody. Troy's not going to do that here because the game's on the line. Got a 2-run lead. Trying to win the game first.
Mark DeRosa. Pitch to him is a strike call. The only thing about that, and it happens every time we have a little flare-up like this, the other pitcher comes in and he's warned, and you hope that the umpire gives them the latitude of still being able to pitch in. You're not trying to hit somebody, but that's part of being effective.
Well, you got to recognize the situation. Clearly Ted Barrett knew, and probably the other 3 umpires out there in the infield knew that was intentional.
Yeah.
And he let him do it twice. Once you miss, you miss. If you got him the first time, hey, you make the decision as an umpire to kick him out or don't kick him out. But when he goes 2 times, you don't get him the first time, you don't get a second shot.
Pitch up and in. Did it get him? It hit him. An 0-2 pitch. So DeRosa is hit by the pitch. And now Wedge wants an ejection. He's the guy who ought to be ejected because he brought Wood in especially to hit Upton. And that was premeditated.
Yeah, that was definitely premeditated. There's no doubt about that. I mean, why you bring your closer in down 2 runs to face B.J. Upton because he throws 95 miles an hour. He had one job to do.
And the last thing Percival wants to do is put a base runner on, especially when he's up 0-2.
Yeah, no, that's.
I mean, that's ludicrous to argue that. That doesn't make any sense at all. He didn't want to put a man on. Ben Francisco now. One of this guy's been really dangerous.
Yes, he has.
DeRosa's the runner. Pitch up and in. Ball 1 strike.
See, Troy's always pitched in. That's how he's always been effective as a closer. So he's not trying to hit anybody here. He's not going to put the winning run on, or the tying run on base if the winning run come to the plate.
Pitch is up. Did he go after it? He did. McClellan said he offered. The count is 1-2.
Take a look. And from the side is what Tim McClellan sees.
Well,
he might have pulled back.
He might have there. He turns away from that pitch in. It's 2-2 now. Runner at first, nobody out, top of the ninth. Swing and a miss. Fastball up, strikes him out.
Well, that's what Troy was trying to do the pitch before, and it worked. I mean, he got up above Ben Francisco's hands because he had been seeing those balls out over the heart of the plate, especially against Sonnenstein earlier for his 2 home runs.
So 1 on, 1 out. Let's check in with Todd one more time.
All right, Dwayne, final moments of the auction. If your name is not here, you're not the highest bidder right now. This is the All-Star Game bid. This is the hitting lesson with Pat Burrell bid. Here's the trip to Seattle. Here's the trip to New York. And here's the party at Tropicana Field. Phones are still open. You see the war room. Guys, back to you.
All righty, thank you. Here's Cabrera. He takes a pitch a little bit high. Cabrera has been impressive in this series. As you look at the board, big change right now. Amanda putting in some of the very late bids. $3 grand there for the Pat Burrell hitting lesson.
It's not Denny Doyle, is it? Looking for a they have a baseball school down here.
2-0 the count. Top of the ninth inning. This game has gotten a little heated here in the last inning or two. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Fastball up. Cabrera checking with Ted Barrett to see if that pitch was up out of the strike zone. I think it was.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Some good run on it, though. A little late life. Tough to lay off of.
2-2 now. He got him. He strikes him out. Well, Cabrera is out on strikes. So the veteran Troy Percival has come in. He got ahead of DeRosa, hit him, struck out Francisco, and now strikes out Cabrera.
That had a little tail to it to go with it. I mean, 90 miles an hour with a little tail. But the inside and up fastball set that up.
Now Jamie Carroll, and he swung the bat well today, 3 out of 4. Pitch inside. Ball, no strikes. Carroll has a single, a triple, and a double in 4 at-bats.
He's off to a pretty good start since his injury.
And a fly ball into left. Here comes Crawford. He got it. And the Rays win it. Fly ball to left and a little diving catch for Carl Crawford. The Rays win this one 7-5. And they take 3